Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Dani rifles a ball to right field. Does it have the carry? It does. If that didn't go over the wall, it would have went through it. Home run number 44 for Ohtani. The second blast for the Dodgers in this inning. Third most extra base hits. JT smokes one to deep left field. And the Phillies are back on top. A two-run home run for Rhule Muto.
I want us to be really aggressive with everything we do. So serving, has that continued to improve? Attacking, I want to see us going for it. Really pretty low percentages tipping. I want to see Bergen run a really good, crisp offense. And Campbell, there's potential we could use both of them this weekend and to really have that change be seamless and to have our tempo and location as good as it can be this early in the year. I realize there's going to be some miscues as we're all learning about each other, and that will eventually evolve. But I want us to play at the level we're at in practice in the matches.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill in the great state of Nebraska, home of the 12-time national champion Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Oh, don't you start. Don't you
12
start.
times. I looked it up. We've got 12. Did you know that?
No, don't you start. I can't believe everybody went down that rabbit hole, but it was good. I know everybody had fun with.
I thought we just had 5. We got 7 more last night.
Auburn doing Auburn things, but boy, people had a field day crushing Auburn. I was listening to a show last night after our second practice, and they were doing – they went into this whole bit about things that actually happened that didn't happen. It was hilarious. Like, hey, Jason Tatum never hit that game-winning shot, so, such and such is the new NBA champs.
Yep.
Or
KD and Clay never got hurt. The Warriors won 3 in a row. It was awesome.
Oh, man, it was hilarious.
Isn't that incredible?
They were just –
Did
like,
you
wow,
know,
you guys are really going to get 30 minutes out of this.
In the early 80s, Nebraska won 5 straight national titles.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, the field was back to 53.5 yards.
Width,
and Penn State out of bounds.
Incredible stuff.
2-point conversion never got tipped.
Yeah,
all that good stuff.
Lots of stuff. Like Turner Gill, remember totally differently now.
Yeah, and I'm not really one of those guys that like cares, so it didn't float my boat. But man, some folks, fan bases had a lot of fun on social media yesterday.
So you want to know where I had the problem?
No, work with me.
There's some of them that I was like, okay. Well, first of all,
like 04?
Like 04, I was like, you went undefeated. You never got a chance to play for it. I could kind of be like, all right, I guess if you want to UCF this thing, whatever, if that's the company you want to keep. But you know why they didn't play for a national title in 93? Because they pay their players.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a retroactive thing like USC, where it was like, we don't like that Reggie Bush's parents got a cheap house in L.A. It was, hey, in the late 80s, Eric Ramsey taped your coaches telling him that they were paying guys.
Yeah.
And then you were actively banned from postseason play.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a retroactive thing. This was in real time. You knew what deck you were playing with.
People are weird.
Don't worry, though. They got that 1910 one to hang their hat on now.
People are strange.
Can I say nothing? I don't think anything before World War II counts.
And that I think historic. I get it. It's a arbitrary line.
Like 1950 is like where I'm like, nothing counts before that.
I get it, but I think.
Which means Nebraska only has 11 in my personal record book because that 1915 one
the
doesn't
arbitrary date is not for your boy. Because who are we? Just because we're of a certain age.
So if you want it to be not arbitrary, I would go 1936. That's when the AP poll started recognizing a national champion.
I'll rock with that.
I can do that.
I'll rock with that.
I go usually post World War II just because that's when things seem to start shaking out a little bit more in terms of.
It's weird that you use 42, 90 years later is like this arbitrary time period. Still 90 years ago, roughly.
But I'll go 36. That's when the AP poll started. Anything before 36 doesn't count. Sorry, Notre Dame. You've only got like 5. My bad.
Yeah.
No, you're exactly right.
I know, Coach.
Sorry. How are you doing this morning, DB?
I'm good.
I
Yeah, that
skipped
was
that.
a
Sorry.
weird. That was a weird rant.
I just wanted to make sure people knew that Nebraska has 12 national titles in football.
Problem is we're a day late, so it's not as funny.
I know.
How's that for a pen in your balloon?
It happened like right after the show.
Well,
10, 11, 12.
I hate it when that happens.
What up, Coach McGuire? I like that, Todd. Tyrone Williams days left till Nebraska jumps it off. A very forgotten, very, 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 very good Husker.
Green Bay Packer, great.
Again, another guy that learned to
That's Tyrone.
Another Packer. A guy that learned to practice.
Mhm.
Didn't always start out as a great practice guy, but you spend enough time opposite B Miles, and with B Miles, you learn to. I mean, not to go all Tom Lenny, but the standard is definitely the standard. I do learn how to practice.
Is Barron still in Canada?
No, B Miles he makes all but he's here a lot.
Okay.
So he's like omnipresent.
Last I knew he was coaching in Canada.
Not like here our Lord, but
yeah.
Omnipresent. Big B Miles guy.
Yeah.
That's a good pull though. A lot of people forget about T-Dub.
Yeah. Who else we got? We got Amir Abdullah, famous 8s.
Yeah. Tyrone Bird.
Yeah.
Who
else we got? Number 8s.
Quarterback. I can see him in my head for Nebraska. Brother, clean cut, part right to here.
Give me a date range.
80s. They had DB too. Hit Lorenzo Hicks. You want to go old school?
I would say I'm not great with the 80s. Is a little dicey for me. For your boy. Not quite sharp.
Low Hicks, T Bird. If I stay in the 80s.
We'll find it.
You got Amir. It's Lorenzo Hicks.
Oh, Lorenzo Hicks. Okay.
Yeah, because McCaffrey and Clayton were 7, I think. Who else was a single digit?
Was Monte Cristo 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
The count?
Yeah.
Nicest guy in all of America?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, top 10. It's good company.
You haven't met everybody, so you got to give him a little.
I mean, billion people, that's where you want to be, isn't it?
Top 10?
Yeah. Well, it's more than.
Top percentile?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, TK, we got Singleton. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't say Singleton.
Current.
TK said Singleton.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't mind Singleton. I know you're hard on Singleton.
I'm not. I
feel like a penguin. What do you
don't
feel?
dislike him.
Spit it out, numbnuts. What
I
are you
don't
feeling?
dislike him.
Yeah.
I just
Are
don't
you prove it?
I don't feel like we've seen it yet, and we act like we have.
I
feel like a penguin.
I'm withholding judgment because I lack a little objectivity because I like him.
That's fine. I'm sure he's a wonderful human being.
I don't know him like that. He has some weird mannerisms I gravitate towards.
Okay.
I know. It's kind of dumb.
In what I think is a very competitive.
Kate, you can't be very old though. Kate might be one of those historians that has an old soul. His Rolodex is fairly deep, but I'm gonna guess. You want to guess Caden's age?
I think he's told us he's young, hasn't he?
I don't know if he's told us his age.
Oh, okay.
Everybody else does that we think.
Yeah.
Maybe Caden has, and I'm forgetting. But
Maybe,
you know
I
what?
might be thinking of
He
Kobe.
sticks out to me because
I'm
I'm very pro K-12.
Sounds
Sounds like a vitamin, doesn't it?
I would guess.
I mean, remember, he's had old NBA takes.
Yes.
He's had old football takes. Now he's talking about Hicks and Fryer as a tandem. That's 80s. I mean, that's 85 going to Norman and not wanting the ball thrown over your head.
I would guess like 27.
Man, I'm going to go 33.
Oh, okay. You think a little older than that?
It's still not very old.
No, but especially for the references.
Right.
Yeah. No, I got you.
Right.
But he's not like.
I mean, what was the old Portland hoops like? He's had some old takes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe just.
No, maybe he just likes going back on the old NBA classics.
K-12. I just.
The hardwood classics.
Name. Hey, good morning, Josh. John Gibson. John Gibson is fighting his brains out right now. Not doing very well health-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big John Gibson guy. His sister is a pharmacist at the Walgreens where I get my scripts.
Oh, nice.
I started to give her my ID, and she said, and I didn't know her from Adam.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I know you. It's fine. Birth date. I was like, it's kind of weird. And with my receipt, she slid me the drawer, which, by the way, they got to figure that out. The little arm that holds the stuff down.
It's not great.
You got to figure something out.
It's not great.
Right?
It's 2025. We could do better.
I get it, but you'd
like
be turning, considering there are about 478 Walgreens in a 1-block radius, you'd have a lot of turnover if you had to revamp those bad boys.
The overhead on the machine overhaul.
Yeah,
might
and
be
so
a lot.
he's down in Arizona, man, fighting his brains out.
Dang.
Yeah, I was a Gibby, in my opinion, no hyperbole, of the young guys that were coming along, was in that athleticism range that was borderline freaky. The former Monarch, he was a freaky athlete.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I know you don't remember.
I don't, but I hope he does. I mean, I hope
Monarchs cranked him out there in a little bit. I mean, that's that.
They had a nice little run.
Lance Brown stretch, and
yeah, they had a nice little run.
Who else they have? Schlecht he was a Monarch, right?
I think so.
If he wasn't, I apologize. I think he was.
I think you're right.
You don't know, man. I could have said he was
It sounds right. I've heard these
purple
things before.
unicorn.
Well, I think he was. That's probably not it. It's probably not a purple unicorn.
I think he was. My man said, "LOL." What I wish. I don't know, Caden. Holler at your boy. Let
we
me
got
know.
Stanley
Nate
Morgan.
Mason. God, who said that?
Got Stanley Morgan Jr.
Okay, Tom. All right, Tom is a Rolodex. Nice pull.
That's a good one.
Nice pull, Tom.
That's a good one.
All right, we're there.
Johnny asked why I'm out on. What listener did I say I was out on this morning? I didn't say I was out on anybody.
I don't know. Who knows, man? You get grabbed in a hurry.
I didn't say I was out on anybody. I just thought I said Caden I thought was 27. You said 33, and he said I wish.
My man Josh in early with the John Gibson reference. That's cool. Josh, I jumped Mick yesterday, and he took it like a champ.
Somebody said Zaire Anderson. I don't remember him.
Zaire Anderson. I do remember Zaire. He was a linebacker. Didn't he used to rock like 32? Did Zaire change his number?
He was 50 for the Broncos.
Zaire, I think, changed his number. But TG's one of those guys that, he's not going to throw it out there without a little research. TG.
He might have been 8 early. It looks like Nebraska has him at 13.
He now I'm gonna give TG a little grace.
Might have changed it.
I think Zaire changed his number.
Okay, so I do have an 8 on him now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. See, that rang a bell.
Yeah, there we go.
Man, TG must stay in the lab.
At some point,
he has some random pulls.
That is a pretty random pull.
And that's kind of that lost era too. What years was he?
Zaire 2012 to 2012 to 2014.
He wasn't quite in the lost years, man.
Yeah,
the guys from 8 to 12 get no burn. It's sad.
Yeah, it's like the late Callahan.
I'm like, come on, man. Guys could play. He was nice though. Zaire was nice.
Yeah.
He was borderline certifiable, so you could
JUCO guys, Zaire Anderson.
Oh yeah, you could take him so far, and then you'd be like, you're on over there, buddy.
Anyway, we're cool.
No, but you need a handful of those guys, though. I can't believe the Nate Mason pull, man. That is kind of made my day.
Nate Mason.
Listen, early 80s. Right after Jeff Quinn, before TG, they're trying to settle in on a quarterback. Nate looked like he was going to be the part.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm right. Yeah, because that's in my
freshman in 79.
Yeah, that's my crybaby wheelhouse.
Okay.
I mean,
what does that mean?
That sounds weird.
What does that mean?
So,
I don't know what that means.
So in that stretch, Buster Rhymes scored late, and I was super pissed at Jeff Quinn. And I'm a kid.
Okay.
I mean, a little kid. And my parents are coming back from Lincoln, and I'm listening to the game on the radio. And I'm home with my sister and my brother. And, I mean, I cried. And we had this vertical lazy Susan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. It was taller than me. And my dad used to hate when I cried. So I mean, it's maybe a little revisionist, but I was like, if this dude sees me cry after this loss and they lost, he may come unhinged.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to come through traffic. Like I knew my dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your boy hitting the lazy Susan. I got real skinny. I spun that thing around. And I told my sister, I told Kim, if I was in there too long and I couldn't push it, get me out. That was supposed to be the deal. Yeah, so I call that the crybaby days.
That's fair.
That's a 100% true story.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Crybaby days. I struggled early too. I'm like, because one of the guys that I grew to appreciate more as I got older, especially as I used to watch the old John Corrigan and Frank Solich running back tapes, was Jarvis Redwine. Because at first I didn't like him.
Cool name though.
No, and he was
Great
sweet.
name.
And I was so mad because I hated the tearaway jerseys. So he just looked raggly.
Yeah.
And guys like like the hairstyles were different. And
just didn't meet your eye?
No.
Yeah.
And I didn't love, he kind of had this crazy herky-jerky style. And like people got mad at him, and I couldn't figure it out. And it was because of, there was one time he went out of bounds, and there's another time it was a fumble, inopportune time where he fumbled. And man, I start watching these. I told you how I lifted. That's code for taking something that didn't belong to me. Coach Solich's old running back cut-up tapes. Like I had about 4.
Yeah.
And now technically, Carpenter and Moose, those guys were supposed to dub the tapes for me. Because they had all these machines where you could put in all these cassettes. I don't even know how it worked.
Yeah.
And never quite got the copies. So we kept the originals. It's an accident.
Bet Coach Solich was thrilled about that.
Shout out Coach Solich. No, I told him about it probably we were well into the 2000s. So probably to say congratulations, he got this kid Bass out of Miller North. But I think it was Bobby. What was Bass's first name? That dude was sweet. And he was recruiting Casey Sales. So it had to be, no, man, this was like 12.
I was going to say, Casey Sales would have been Omaha North days,
This
right?
is like 13, 14.
Yeah.
And I came clean.
You're like, hey, by the way.
He was like, you son of a gun. That's how he said, you son of a gun. His teeth are still together, so I think he's pissed, but he smiled, so I went with it. And it was over the phone, so I was cool. It was just one of those things I was carrying around for like 20 years.
You're like, hey, I got to tell you.
Because people were like, oh, man, how you know so much about these backs? Well, I had a couple cheat codes. Just put them in the old VHS.
Literal.
Yeah. That's why it's easy for me to compare running styles so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have lots and lots of frames. Because, he would film individuals. He would film bag work. I jacked him for like 8 of his drills.
Yeah.
Until I figured out, I don't know if these guys are going to want to play for me very long. If these are the drills we do. Probably shouldn't be doing these in high school. I remember I had a guy at Burke, Jake Marisek. He was young, but he was fast. And he's kind of a converted running back. And he turned out to be one of my favorites. He used to babysit Caleb. He and his sig fig. And after a couple of practices, he's like, man. So what's the matter? He said, I just figured out something. We used to hate all your drills. But my neighbor is McCathron Clayton. My parents were talking to him the other day, and I came out on the porch and I was talking about some of your running back drills. And he said, you got those from Nebraska. I was like, damn, Mac, stop telling on me.
What, do you think you invented them?
I know, right? But back then, like people do.
I know.
I'll drop a one-liner and I'll be like, oh, man, this dude's like Confucius. Nah, I can read, and I got that from somebody else. So you just let them go with it. That's all.
I just assume everybody got every drill they used from somebody else.
Yeah, although I've made up a couple lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have to get specific on what we're not good at.
Yeah.
And we got a short window to stop a team that I think is going to want to run it down our throats. So we better figure something out and figure out how to shut down number 11.
Can I ask you a question about Nate Mason?
Absolutely.
Why was he starting against Florida State and Penn State in '82? Did he just beat out Gill, or what happened?
No. So TG, I think it was a thumb.
Okay.
TG had an ailment. He started against PSU.
He said it says start against the win against Florida State in '82 also.
Yeah, I like Nate. Nate is another one of those guys. That's when brothers used to get like the skin tight brush cut and they would put the part in. I was never a part guy.
Yeah.
Number one, my dad said I couldn't have a part until I got to high school. And then by then, my head was so misshapen, I didn't want any extra attention drawn to anything up here. So I was never a part guy.
Why couldn't you have a part until high school? What was his? Did you understand the logic there? Like, did he have a reason, or was it just a thing?
My dad was one of those people that I don't know if he associated it with being upstanding. I don't really know.
Okay.
But again, we're talking about a guy that didn't let me lift until I was 16. And by then I was so goddamn lazy, I just didn't like lifting. So shout out him too. No parts, no lifting.
Should have let you start earlier. Maybe you would have liked it.
That's dang T.O., man. It's my freshman year. And he's like, how are you only benching 25 pounds? I don't know. 5'7", hit him up. He'll tell you. Don't you guys have that nice weight room behind the rafters up there at Northwest? Yeah, funny guy. We do. I just never saw that place.
Never went there.
Cool story. I think so. Maybe I should go up there and check.
Never seen it.
Never seen it.
It's like me in the library. It's around here somewhere.
Oh, that's a true story. It's like, oh, you just got to get you stronger. Is that what we got to do? Just put me in the game, coach.
So is that why he's up here this morning?
No. I mean, kind of, but not really.
What do we got? We got an interesting combo for the morning.
Let's just go with the fact they're both wearing red hats.
Okay.
Red hat gang.
Yeah, that's definitely what people think when you say that.
Yeah, red hats.
I was just assuming. I mean, we've got the Grinch, and then we've got a beloved Christmas character as well.
There you go. There it is. That's it. Do you see those guys that practice out chilling?
Yeah.
They got them lawn chairs.
Yeah.
I thought that was cute.
It was nice. Looked like they were out watching like in their yard.
Yeah.
That was him and George, right?
And Coach Loach.
Oh yeah.
I see Coach Darlington quite a bit.
I mean, he goes to all the games and stuff in the press box.
He's the quintessential example of a guy that I rock with that is not very nice to me.
Yeah.
That you make fun of me for. I don't remember the last time I said hello to Coach Darlington and the first thing he said was endearing.
Like what's a typical Coach Darlington response when you say hello to him?
What do you want now?
That does kind of just seem to be his personality, though.
So it could be before a game, and I'll see him. I'll come out of the booth.
Mm-hmm.
I need a break, right? It's very confined. I'm claustrophobic. And I don't know what I get, but I have a routine. So I'll walk. So this last time it was, network still employs you? That gravy train must taste awful good. Then it's like, oh, there's a statute of limitations to get my choke game right, but boy, is it coming. No, he's just very sarcastic.
Yeah.
Nah, he's a good dude, though.
He's about the only one in the press box the rules don't apply to.
Oh, he does what that? Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been in the press box at Nebraska. If you haven't, which I assume most of you haven't.
He does kind of get his own rules.
He does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Everybody, like, there's like at the beginning of every quarter, there's like, hey, quiet in the press box, no cheering. They they remind you of all the rules, right?
Yeah.
George Darlington, that is not a man that abides by those rules.
He just you just kind of you tiptoe and you start out. You try to shoot him with a pleasantry first.
Yeah.
And hope that holds, but it's a total crapshoot because he will chop you down.
I've never spoke to him because I'm sure he has no idea who I am.
Yeah.
And I've never had a reason to.
He's super gracious to people he doesn't know. It's the guys that he does know that he has like recon on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll get you.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
I was at the deal with Rashawn, and Rashawn was getting his like photog. You get those vests and stuff, and Coach Darlington hitting with. Now, keep in mind, Coach Darlington's the guy that wears glasses, as does VJ. Oh, Rashawn Jackson, are those the same glasses that you used to try to catch footballs with? Can't wait to see those pictures. Hey, man, good morning.
That's just mean.
Good morning.
Seems
Good
unnecessary.
morning again.
Ask anybody that.
Seems unnecessary.
You just eat it, man. That's how Coach D was. That's why those DBs were such Richard heads. They got it from him. Every last one of them.
Where
Ask Will Height.
did the
He turned a rattlesnake into like a black mamba because Kenny didn't need any help being mean.
he didn't start off that nice?
No. Jerk. And I love him to this day. Kenny would fight you over like how you tied your shoes.
Yeah.
Anything he could pick a fight about, he was gonna pick a fight.
For fun, just for funsies,
Yes.
just for giggles.
I blame Coach Darlington. And he got him out of JUCO. He's an East St. Louis guy too.
Yes.
Like real East St. Louis, not fake East
So there
St. Louis.
might have been some other factors there with Kenny.
Yeah. Like nature versus nurture.
Yeah, I mean,
We should talk to K-Dub.
if you go from East St. Louis to JUCO, then to George Darlington, like I don't know what your chances are.
Yeah. You talk about a guy that keeps it a buck. So I am surprised. I want Singleton, going back to the days, I want Singleton to, I want him to make I'm a believer. That's Lecrae. I can't sing it because my voice is fatigued Jenkins, but I want
Were you doing a Famke Jenkins thing there? What was
fatigue.
What's fatigue Jenkins?
Just a DBism. Fatigue just means tired.
Yeah.
And Jenkins is a word I used to use when something wasn't very good. I was
Okay.
like, oh man, that is Jenkins. It's dumb.
Okay. I was like, did I miss something there?
No.
Okay.
It's cultural.
Why is it always gonna be cultural with Jenkins?
Oh no. Clinton used to, I don't know, man. It's just stuck for a long time
Okay.
between us.
I just want to make sure I wasn't like missing a.
We'd be like, oh man, that is fatigue. People would be like, what? Like you're talking code.
Jenkins.
Exactly. It's made up.
Okay, sorry.
I want him to
Deshaun,
make a believe.
Deshaun.
I do want him to make a believer out of you because in my own head,
Mhm.
I even have to tell myself I want him to be as good as I think he can be, and I haven't seen it all yet.
Yeah.
But from all intents and purposes, he's coming off a really good camp. He's finally kind of comfortable in his own skin too. So I'm very, very curious.
Well, he's playing a little.
And
bit,
I don't want to be like nah. I wouldn't do that.
he's playing a little different spot, right?
Yeah, he's officially a rover.
So hopefully that helps him out a little.
He's their
bit.
8th run fitter.
If I'm being honest, that does scare me a little.
Yeah, because for whatever the reason, we still don't know the safety position. So I'm going to say this one more time.
Yeah.
You have kind of what's a rover.
Mhm.
You have a boundary safety.
Yeah.
And you have a nickel.
Yeah.
Those are the three. Let's not make up anything else. Those are what those positions
in this
are.
defense, that's what
they do.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
So with the rover, that's more of kind of like a tweener, like closer to line of scrimmage.
He can box you.
So-
He's your first prob. Ideally, now you can get formation, but ideally he's probably your first alley runner.
So I think that's part of my concern this year is I didn't love the way he ran fit last year.
Hey, he can get into the box though.
So I don't know if that's because-
Sometimes you'd watch him and he looked like Ziola on the mat where he could double leg you. And then there were some other times where you start
seemed like he was late sometimes, a little hesitant.
Yeah. So
I don't know if being a rover and being a little closer to line of scrimmage is going to help him make decisions.
it is a
faster.
little more clear cut.
Okay.
It is a little more clear cut.
So hopefully that cures some of the things that I felt ailed him last year.
Yeah.
Maybe puts him in a little bit better position to be successful with his skill set.
Yeah.
But that would be my concern is I didn't always love the way he ran fit last year. I felt like sometimes he was slow making decisions.
Now, the first two deep, I try not to put a lot of stock in, but it will be interesting to see the depth chart with the secondary.
Well, speaking of two deep, you want to do that now? You want to do that later?
Are we doing that today?
It's Wednesday. I said Wednesday.
Damn, sorry. See, that's what I'm talking about. A simple yes would suffice. Sure, do you want to? It's the double down.
I would like to do that today if you're okay with it.
That doesn't even sound like you. That is like
See, that's the problem. Is when I am nice
because you went you shot the prick shot early, and so you couldn't go back and get it. It's Wednesday. I said Wednesday. Like you don't even have kids, so how do you practice talking to people like that?
It's at 3 hours every morning. That's where I practice.
Who the hell said I got to like you?
Exactly. By the way, Shane, play that again.
Who the hell said I got to like you?
Have you ever seen Fences?
I haven't. I've read it.
Not one of my favorite Denzel movies.
I've read it. Arthur Miller. I've read Fences. I have not. I did not see the
Tough
movie.
watch.
I liked the play when I read it, and I was a little scared to watch it because I didn't want it to.
It's fairly depressing.
It's kind of like when I was big. I liked reading The Great Gatsby, and so.
Oh gosh, dude, you saying that out loud?
Yeah, I did. I like that. I like the book. But when the movie,
you're so well rounded.
F. Scott Fitzgerald guy.
There's so much depth.
F. Scott Fitzgerald. What did he do to you?
It's like a fine wine.
Why F. Scott?
What law is there say I got to like you when I stand up in front of my face and ask a damn fool-ass question like that?
See, that's what I want to say to you sometimes. Hey, so can we? That's beautiful. Can that be a thing? So I don't have to be a jerk. Can I just go, and then you play that clip in response to him being him? Can we just do that again?
What law is there say I got to like you when I stand up in front of my face and ask a damn fool-ass question like that?
Do you want to do that today? Do you want to do the depth chart? And that would be my response. I was like, hey,
fool-ass question like that.
Exactly.
You realize that by prompting.
And when did you tell me? That was like Monday.
Mondays.
Or it was off. Like, I don't even know. When was that?
It was Monday on the phone.
Like, I'm supposed to remember that.
I remember that. You expected me to remember that you wanted to do it?
Well, clearly, we had a bunch of ideas that we were bagging and tagging.
Yeah,
like,
they're all written down.
Shane?
I said we're doing NFL next week. I said we're doing Due Deep on Wednesday.
All right. Well, now you prompted
Here's the thing, though. Here's what I want to.
Oh, here we go. You
you
about to set me straight?
I just want to point it out. Okay, it's just an observation that I had. Okay. So
is this a 9 and 8?
We'll see. To be determined.
All right.
Is there really a difference between you prompting Shane to be snarky with me through a drop or me just being snarky to you directly? I would argue that mine is actually less snarky because I'm just saying it to your face.
Well, mine is in defense of. And I don't always like to say what I'm thinking.
So you have somebody else say it for you?
Correct.
Is that better?
I don't know. Do you want me to say it to you?
Damn fool-ass question like that.
Depends on how thick a skin you get.
I don't know.
So some of that is on the recipient. Believe me, if you could take it, I'll say it.
I would say the same thing. Some of it's on the recipient.
Nice delivery. God, I want to punch you right in your soup cooler sometimes. It's like, how's that go again? Give me that.
Some of it's on the recipient.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. Let's not do that.
You take your top lip and connect.
Yeah, hey. Exactly. No, Shane, let that one go.
If you take your top lip and connect it to your bottom lip, you will shut the fuck up. Sometimes shutting the fuck up is the best thing you can do.
Here's the thing, though.
Hey, do that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I don't need the duck lips. I like the.
God, I want to say that so bad. That's probably one. That's one of 3 that I will never say.
I was gonna say. Here's the thing: is
you take your top lip.
The thing I don't even know the thing I'd have to do to get an F-bomb out of you.
It had to be pretty serious.
Like, I mean, I don't think there's anything I could do on the show that would get an F-bomb out of you.
I'm just telling you, you get that one. That is 100% a violence igniter. Something bad is going to happen.
Yeah.
To whomever I'm in that deal with.
You, someone. So their violence will ensue.
I do remember saying that out loud in public in Kansas. I was in Wichita.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I stalked that dude for like 3 years. T-Mose will tell you that story. It was very childish, DB.
I gotta text T-Mose real quick.
I am not okay.
That's pretty good, Shane.
For gold is cold and lifeless, it can neither see nor hear, and in time of trouble it is powerless to cheer.
Knock it off. trying to take a call. I need you to grow
Do you
up.
want me to send you it seems like maybe you need some de-stressors in
No,
your life?
I'm cool.
A friend is one who will not even consider giving his life for you.
He's not my friend.
That
was a great poem, by the way.
There is I've been having this guy pop up on my TikTok. He's a pastor. You'd like him.
Oh, jeez.
He gives real good life advice. I could start sending those to you instead of the snarky
Stop
stuff.
touching me.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Take your top lip and connect it to your bottom
Get
lip.
away from me, man.
I thought you were a touch person. I was trying to connect to you on your level.
No, man, I got to go first. You don't
Oh,
get
okay.
no.
My bad.
No.
My bad.
If you don't knock it off.
I just thought we could dap up and be boys.
Hey.
No?
All right, go.
You want to get to TK?
Yeah, sure, because I'm
Hey,
saying well done, man.
TK, what do we got this morning on the 2 deep?
Good morning. Well, I wasn't quite calling on the 2 deep. I was calling to save DB from the 2 deep question.
Thank you. Buy me some time. It's Wednesday, isn't it?
Damn fool-ass question like that.
How's it go again?
Yeah, you sounded like Ravi sounded like you talking about Micah yesterday. I was legitimately worried for that kid's life.
Hey, so
what did I tell you off air? What did I tell? I think I was off air.
You go. How long do you think he thought about your response, or something like that?
No, I said. I said,
one of the coaches did
there's a lot of me in that. Like there's a lot of me and and Micah that overlap there.
Yeah. I asked him at lunch if he'd like to reconsider, and he was like, "Are we still on that?" No, TK. Do you know that was? I promise that's what he said, and I go, "Hey, hope you got enough lunch money. I'll talk to you later." And I'm supposed to be the adult.
Rational confidence that lawyers need.
My man said, you still on? You still on that?"
Did he hit you with that's on the recipient?
And you heard his delivery when so I called him yesterday after the show, and he was even worse than how I told the story. Was he not?
Oh yeah. He was so much why are we still talking about this?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a trip, TK. He's different. He better be if he gets cooked on Thursday.
My inner Micah. So is your inner self called Kenny because of Mr. Wilhite?
No. I don't know why I picked Kenny. It was I don't know. He just kind of seems like a Kenny.
Seems more like a Richard to me.
That's tough. Hey, you're one to speak, Mr. Lulla.
A Richard Hole.
1 to 10 on one.
Did you see how just candid he was with what he called me?
No, not you, Kenny. Not you.
You can't do that.
I would never call DB that. I might call Kenny that.
Say that again. TK was like, "Whoa." Yeah, man, just real casual. It comes to you too easy.
I know. I don't.
Kenny.
I can't stop it.
I know. Believe me, well aware. So TK,
Yes, sir.
Let's rotate our top 5 D linemen in. Who are they? In no particular order. Leonard, okay.
Van Pop.
Okay.
Judy.
Okay.
Man, that's really hard.
That is.
4 and 5 are hard.
I don't think so.
Really?
We missing a big one.
Oh yeah.
Who am I missing?
Keona.
Oh, Keona Davis, sure. And I would like it to be on Mr. Enwinari.
Yeah, interesting.
I do think the 5th one gets a little trickier on who it actually is. I think they've got options, but I think you're right.
I think it's different about who is and who I would like it to be.
Yeah, you've got a couple of pups and Pet Shock and Hofkin.
Mm-hmm.
I still like Mason Goldman for whatever the reason. I'm gonna keep bringing him up because
yes,
I just think he's a good player. Who else is in that discussion?
I think they will consistently be able to bring Goldman in to stop the run.
Yeah, I don't know. So let's back burner Pet Shock and Hofkin just because of age. So let's slide them.
I know he just came off the green jersey.
George is got to be.
Has Jalen got enough?
It's got to be in that discussion. They may. I don't know how
Yeah.
productive it'll be, but capable bodies, they got quite a few.
Right.
That might be one of those
I
things
gotta
that'll continue to be
see
a work in
Mr.
progress.
George.
I would like it to be Jalen George. Yeah.
I mean, what would you do it? Well, we won't get into it. I guess you and I can get into the too deep, but we could probably spend a couple segments on just D-line.
There's like a whole 3-hour show that you could spend on D-line.
No, because I'd get tired. My attention. No, can't do 3 hours of D-line. I'd be talking about who knows what barbecue spots in KC. I gave four recommendations, TK, of something that I think anybody could find. I gave Meat Mitch, Char Bar.
How you doing, Mitch?
Woodyards. It's just this dude.
No sauce, all barbecue.
He's on one today.
He really is. What I give? I gave.
You gave Q39.
No.
Oh, you just talked about it.
I just talked about it.
So Char Bar.
Yep. Meat Mitch.
How you doing, Mitch?
Woodyards. And.
Did you give Joe's?
Nope. And
that was Avery. Avery gave Joe's.
Wolfpack.
Yeah, those are all really good. And then you have them on the spectrum.
You know, like I can cover
your less saucy and your more saucy.
Right. And really good smoke versus sauce. Like, you know, I left off a couple that I thought I could put out there that I wouldn't feel guilty if you went there. I think Slaps is in that discussion. I think Q39, although it's not conventional barbecue. I want to make that known.
Yeah.
It's
like barbecue adjacent.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
I will
it's
throw
good.
100% of my supports behind Char Bar. I think everybody should go.
I think Char Bar is
it's
grossly underrated. Char Bar is really good. It is really good.
I've never had a bad meal there.
And
they have this thing called the Womp platter.
Hey, that's why, you know what's funny? So we stayed on the other, this was probably 4 years ago at a coach's clinic. It was the year after, it was the year after COVID. I drove clear across town to get that platter. And do you know how many people I shared that platter with, TK?
0.
Absolutely no one.
Goose egg.
$60 platter at the time. I don't know what it is now. It's got like 30
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah, it's got that.
I'm telling you. Drove clear. It was 41-minute drive.
It's heaven, Robbie. It's heaven.
41-minute drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a great time with shocking effort.
I skipped a lot of barbecue spots in between. Yeah, I wouldn't feel guilty if you went to, I mean, Slaps, it's fine. I would not feel guilty. Plus, some people like
See,
that
the
style.
problem is,
what style of Slaps?
The problem is, like, if you don't like burnt ends, if that's not your favorite, then
so I did preface those.
That's what they all advertise.
Yep, I did preface those tweets. Where you can get good burn ends and good rib tips. Like I got that out in the open. I said I started with these places because of those two things. Like those are the first two things I would order if they're good and you have them.
TK, where are you sending me for my hot links?
Oh,
Star also has good hot links.
So does Woodyards. Woodyards is just exactly what it says. It actually has the wood. You can go there and get wood. Like that's letting you know what you're working with. I mean, that rolling smoke is like, that's just me. I mean,
honestly, some of the best hot links I had in Kansas City were just random dudes selling barbecue. So,
you know what? That's kind of how it goes.
Bring the peace and go east of Troost.
Yeah. So
yep.
Hey, and would you recommend nudge, nudge, wink, wink? If it starts with an E in the address, like.
Hey, don't go there
East fill in the blank. Like East fill in the blank.
Like daytime. This is a lunch spot only.
Well, even the gates.
Oh, it's a brunch spot only.
Even the gates across from that's close to Kaufman isn't like. We took like 6 or 7 of the staff there, and we got there like 8 because it was after the first part of the clinic, and I mean it was fine, but it wasn't like. Oh,
hey,
I feel great.
And this isn't quite a race factor. This is a socioeconomic factor.
I agree.
Did you
Because
have?
I've been
Go ahead, TK.
I've been walking down the street and I've seen two different kinds of people sticking up two other different kinds of people in a 5-minute span. So it ain't race. It's a socioeconomic factor.
Equal opportunity.
with an E in the address.
I know. I appreciate your political correctness, TK, because I'm sitting next to a guy that thinks only black people are poor. So I appreciate that designation. Thank you.
No, as a once poor white, I know what my poor whites do.
I almost said something that I feel like would have gotten me in so much trouble.
You can't help yourself.
And
You can say anything once.
the ball is out of your hands.
You mad?
No, it's fine.
Thanks,
Hey,
TK.
really quickly,
What's up, buddy?
what's the most underrated game of Week 1, and why is it Utah versus UCLA?
It is Utah
That's a
versus
good
UCLA.
game. That's a good game.
And I said this yesterday, TK. I don't know if you heard me, but I'm going to rock with Utah to stomp a mud hole in UCLA because not only do I think Utah is going to be really good, the schedule, the fact that they play a brutal schedule won't have come into play yet. They could beat the brakes off of UCLA. What's the number?
6.5 Utah.
Yeah, hammer it.
Utah also only has a 7.5 win total.
Yeah, but TK,
that?
careful. That schedule is
Schedule's tough.
miserable.
Schedule's tough.
Look at the schedule before. Well, I might already be too late with you, but look at the schedule.
Oh yeah, it's too late. I looked at the schedule. I just think if they have net positive quarterback play, they're Iowa. They are Iowa.
Yeah.
In the Big 12.
Yeah.
I mean, so you got.
They're
real
going to
quick,
win 8 games just by not making the mistakes that my law school alma mater will definitely make against Fresno State, but will somehow still win.
You got at UCLA, Cal Poly, Wyoming, Texas Tech, at West Virginia, Arizona State, at BYU, Colorado, Cincinnati, at Baylor, Kansas State, at Kansas. I think your hope on the back end there. I do think Kansas, there's a decent chance Jalen Daniels not playing football by that point in the season.
Yeah. I mean, although if you're gonna be there
nice
66,
freshman, though.
if you're gonna be there 66 years, you might want to go out with a pretty swan song,
Yeah, I just don't know if it's gonna be his choice. Like that dude gets hurt when he sneezes.
That's not funny. I heard myself sneezing.
Dude, I actually know a guy busted his spleen sneezing. It almost killed him.
Well, why joke about it?
But DB, you're 50. I've seen this dude walk around and twist his ankle on campus.
Hey, thanks, Ravi. Appreciate that.
He might as well be 50.
Damn. That's our friend, equal opportunity offender, TK. Thanks, buddy.
Have a good day, guys.
TK.
Wow.
I'm just saying. So I went to school
I can't tell.
at a place where they train pastors.
Yeah.
And evangelical ones, so they're all white. I don't know if you know this, but most pastors are poor. I know a lot of poor whites.
Why are you stuck on that?
Because I just felt like that was out of pocket. I've insinuated a lot of things in my life. That black people are the only people that are poor is certainly not one of them.
I am not okay.
There are a lot of things I will wear because I earned it. I did not earn that one.
Oh, shoot.
That one was out of pocket. I've never said anything that even intimates that.
TK here for socioeconomics.
I'm just saying.
I
I saw two people that looked a certain way holding up two other people that looked a different way.
I like how you say it.
I like that.
You say, what?
What? Somebody spelled it because I've never figured out how to spell it. Somebody spelled it like HHHWHITE, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. What? That's not the thing I was going to say that was going to get me in trouble. I'll tell you off air. But
when it has to be, and you've done this to me before, it has to be horrible if you didn't say it.
It's not as bad as the last one.
Okay.
But I'm a little.
It was certainly fireable.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say
it. Bill is cool. So he's like, hey, man, you're in a got-to-go situation. It's pretty bad. I was like, what?
I don't think I would have got fired. Maybe talking to. I don't think fired. Coming up on the show today, we got Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7, coming up in just a few minutes at 8 o'clock. Maybe we'll ask him. I think we'll collect some data and figure out what he thinks the toughest spot to nail down a 2-deep is before we get to it.
Oh, I like that. It's kind of a little setup.
Yeah, we get a little aid, a little study package from our guy BC.
Yeah.
Study aid. That's the word I was looking for. Like I said, I didn't go to the library much.
Wait, you didn't go where?
Library.
Okay, Barry.
I'm not a Barry guy.
The ball is still in your left hand.
Barry White.
I'm not gonna say it. I am not gonna say it. Brian Christopherson at 8 o'clock. Kevin Sjuts at 8:30. And then we're going to talk to Mike Gross, who covers Penn State at 9:45 as we continue to work through Nebraska's schedule.
Our goal is cold and lifeless. It can neither see nor hear, and in time of trouble, it is powerless to cheer.
We got to.
That's what he was. That's a poem on what a friend is.
We got to.
And in none of
A
what
friend is one who will not even consider giving his life for you.
Yeah,
I wouldn't consider giving my life for you. I am a great friend. See, nailed it.
I am not okay.
You're horrible.
That's
with an H.
Horrible. Just wait till I tell the off-air jokes. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla.
Can't wait.
More Hurrdat Sports Live coming up next.
Give me that cheddar, bacon, Rico. Big money rolls like burritos. Give me that hot sauce, no pico. Give me that.
I think overall as a group, we doing a pretty good job at working. I mean, I think the everyday process, just whether it's the install or just the communication aspect and just getting comfortable with side of the ball. Guys in the room doing a good job of working together. And we talk about Mudita a lot, so we're just talking about just a selfless act and just continue to work together. So guys doing a really good job of kind of just supporting each other. And then in terms of rushing the quarterback, I mean, it's just a percentage of what they're here for, right? You got to be a complete ball player. You got to earn to be able to rush the pass on third downs. You got to stop the run as well. You got to be able to defeat pullers and snipers coming back. So it's an all-around game. Of course, we work pass rush ability, but it's also just being a complete player.
Centris Federal Credit Union, we understand that the journey of building your own business typically starts with modest beginnings. With a little help from our team of experts and small business loan offerings, you can take your vision and transform it into a more concrete reality. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
This is great. Like I said when I first came here, can't get bored with the fundamentals. And we staying consistent with the fundamentals. And that's going to carry us over to the first game. And I think it's going to be a great time with shocking effort.
From the scrimmages that you put together, just what have you seen the guys' ability to rush the passer and generate pressure as well?
I've seen a lot of great things from Will being a defined move, getting to the quarterback, rush area, move area, and then about to finish from Keona Davis, Van Papa Cam, moving inside to outside. I've been seeing a lot of great things from these guys. First of all, getting off the ball, rushing the passer, and just having shocking effort.
Some of the guys have spoken about that, you're working with them about having a move that is your specialty. Have you seen them really embrace that idea?
Yes, I really believe a guy has one move. You got a go-to move, counter, and the power. But we're really focusing on one move. What's your move? Have a plan, get to the quarterback. But the main thing is about finishing.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla. We're presented by Centris Federal Credit Union, reminding you, make sure you keep those eyes up and that phone down while you're driving. Don't get distracted. You've got one job as a driver. That's to drive. This message from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Before we get to our guy, Brian Christopherson, we got to get to a different Brian, out of breath Brian, over here on the Hurrdat Hotline. Shane says he wants to talk about Jerry Jones. Brian, what do you got, bud?
I'm just calling for a little bit of psychotherapy and sit on the couch.
That's what we're here for.
I don't know if this is the place, man. I feel like I need to actually go there now.
Oh, it's wonderful. Oh, you go there. I'm about to ask if we put in the coalition of the Dallas Cowboys would like to put Jerry Jones up for a trade. We will gladly take the owners of the Steelers. They seem to have it together. Or any other team that has a general manager front office that actually just deals with football, since they are in the sport of football. Because it's not seen that my owner seems to go right on the line of owning a football team and operating the Worlds of Fun amusement park in Kansas City. Because that's what I seem to have all the time with this team. There should be no reason why Michael Parsons, man, I was looking. Remember when he got drafted, I thought he would be perfect for Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, he got drafted by.
And remember, I was like, man, I love the way you're thinking, but there's no way he'll get to the Steelers.
Mm. He would have been better off. This man is pitiful.
Who's gonna play? Who's gonna play D line for you?
Nobody. Said we lost him and we lost the other defensive end. He said something on the way out the door. Said I could never win the championship.
I mean, Mozzie Smith isn't the answer.
Well, he wasn't. And Michigan Lance said that when he got drafted. He apologized to me years ago.
Who was it that you brought in last year? Was it Linval Joseph? Did you? Yeah, you brought in Linval Joseph.
Yes. 2 years ago.
Not going to be the answer.
Yeah, you know him. He always get injured. Back in the day with the Giants, he's not really. I think he played for the Browns for a little bit. I think, but yeah, he's always been injured. Good hole filler, but hey, can't be around the whole game. But I'm up for anybody that want to trade their owner for Jerry Jones. I will even take the Misfits in Cleveland. That's what I would take.
Wow.
Hey, you want? You sure? You want?
Thanks, B.
Maybe we can get him the Johnson & Johnson guy up with the Jets.
Hey, Shane, play that clip.
The Cowboys are a soap opera.
Is that you? Did you clip that?
The Cowboys are a soap opera 365 days. When it gets slow, I'll stir it up.
Please take your seats.
And so it's wonderful to have the great athletes, have the great players, but there's something more there. There's sizzle, there's emotion, and if you will, there's controversy. That controversy is good stuff.
Who says that?
There's sizzle. There's emotion.
That would be mad.
So you know what's kind of ironic about this?
There's sizzle.
Is he's weirdly good at running the business of the Cowboys without running the football team of the Cowboys well. Because he's right in a sense that like the drama is good for their bottom line. It is. It's not as good at being good at football is. But it seems like he's not capable of that. He is capable of making it a soap opera.
It's wonderful.
I'd lose my mind.
He's a WWE owner.
Cowboys need a left. They need a left tackle.
Yeah.
They need a D tackle.
Are those important left tackles?
They need a corner.
Are those important?
And people, I lost my mind. Only you know this because this was off air.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just saw the top 9 Super Bowl contenders.
No, I mean, come on.
And Dallas was 9, and I was like, how can you have Dallas on that list and not even a team like Pittsburgh?
Like, what are we doing? Pittsburgh has a better roster, and even as much
it
as
just doesn't make sense.
Even as much as I don't,
you
like
can't even
Aaron,
look at that like with a straight face.
Even as much as I don't like Aaron Rodgers, I can't sit here and tell you that I for sure think Dak Prescott's going to be better than he is this year.
How is that dude not going to play in a preseason game?
Aaron?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he went on like a wellness retreat or something. He's good to go now.
Stop.
He probably visualized success, and he's just got it.
Can't see it.
I got a guy that can play in a preseason game.
Who's that?
BC.
Oh, we got B Sizzle.
We got our guy Brian Christopherson joining us now from Husker 24/7. BC, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, not a lot. I'm a little sleepy. I stayed up late watching. It's an old doc on Netflix, but I watched Beckham. Have you watched Beckham?
Oh yeah, I have.
As in David?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's like 2 years old, but that's when I get around to stuff. I didn't get an NES until it was a Super Nintendo came out. So that's basically the pattern I've followed through life.
Have you seen? I got to tell you about one that you're gonna love.
Oh,
have you seen The Last Dance?
Wait, what is this? What?
Wait,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I was like, oh my god.
No. Everybody got on the Last Dance train during the COVID season there. So
I was making sure.
No, but yeah, I'm usually late to the party, but on that one I was right on time.
No, Beckham was good. I enjoyed it. I found myself liking him a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah, I did too. Brunson and I were going back. We didn't know if we believed the whole like beekeeper narrative and all this stuff, or if it was a little set up for his documentary. He's doing all this, like he's really anal about everything with his wardrobe and stuff. I don't know. I felt like it was a little put on, but I did enjoy it.
I actually kind of buy that. I feel like a lot of athletes have a hard time like compartmentalizing how particular they are in their sport out of other areas of their life.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm certainly not looking at anybody in the room right now.
BC, yesterday I got called out.
We're
under like a weather advisory, so I knew we were on the clock, right? We could only be outside with no helmets for so long, and Coach Lamanji's really particular about following rules, and so there's a certain amount of designated time for this install. And so I went over to one of the coaches and I said, are we going to put in this front after offense or before? Because coach said 10 minutes and it's 13 and I don't want to get cut short on time. And my coach looked at me and he goes, there's a fine line between being annoying and OCD. I'll let you know in a few minutes which this is. So I can't relate to what you guys are talking about with Beckham, and I have no idea what anybody's talking about. I'm just telling you, man. 3 minutes is 3 minutes. Yeah. But in my defense, though, like when I used to be in that terrestrial world, or somebody said they wanted a 60-second commercial or a 30-second endorsement, or we're back in 404 or whatever. Like that's how I talk. Like I'll say things like I'll be there in 12 minutes, not 10. Not 15. My ETA says, 13 minutes. Like, I don't know. I think I come by it honestly.
Yeah. One of the biggest flaws I have, and I think some others do, is I'm always overly optimistic in the timetable I present to someone. And you're better off, I think, going with the worst case scenario.
Yep. You're way better going the other way.
Especially with your better half. That's a tip for everybody out there that you'll pick up a couple years in.
I know somebody that'll, and she'll conveniently say, hey, I'll be there in 10 minutes. I'm like, you're not leaving for 10 minutes. How are you going to be here in 10 minutes? It's weird like that. I don't know.
The psychology of it is very strange because for some reason people think like, hey, if I tell them I'm going to be in 10 minutes and I'm 2 minutes late from that, they'll be less mad than if I tell them I'm going to be there in 20 minutes. And that's accurate. Right? Like, I feel like there's a weird psychology there where it's like, I don't want them to be mad in the moment. and I feel like they're less likely to be mad to my face. So we're just gonna try it. I don't know what it is. It's very strange.
Yeah, it's like you're going to be less mad for these 10 to 15 minutes while you think I'm going to be there at this time, and then you're going to be more, worse off actually an hour from now when I actually show up. But yeah, I do have a problem with that.
BC, I was complaining about Aaron Rodgers not playing in a preseason game. Would you tell me to settle down?
No. I'd like to. Yeah, I would have liked to see him get some reps.
I love when the Vikings.
Are you excited? I don't know. I haven't listened to your take on this. Are you excited about this deal? What's going on, Aaron?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I actually think I think it's a playoff. I think it's a playoff team.
Yeah.
I certainly think it's a playoff defense.
I'm kind of excited for you too, because for those who I understand, there's a lot of feelings about Aaron Rodgers, and there's some people like, I could never root for that guy if he were on my team. I'm telling you, when Brett Favre showed up to the Vikings back in the day, and he kind of scrambled around in the pocket and unloaded on that throw to beat the 49ers. You know the throw I'm talking about, like week 4, like back of the end zone, with 3 seconds left. It's like, I'm all in. Like, it didn't matter that he had been a Packer for 15 years or whatever resentment or these reasons or that I didn't like him. It's like, let's just go win this thing.
I agree. I hated him just as much as a Viking as I
Yeah,
did.
that was the toe touchdown at the very end.
So I do, and honestly, I know. Listen, I don't like Aaron Rodgers as just like the way he carries himself and whatever. But let's not pretend like we haven't all talked ourselves into worse people to root for. Like, out in the grand scheme of things, like the things he's done compared to like some of the other people we find our way to root for, like not like it's mostly we just think he's kind of a D-bag. Right?
Oh, the greatest offense about Aaron Rodgers to me was that he was a Green Bay Packer. I mean, that's like there it is.
Fair enough.
Sorry, I know there's a lot of Packer fans in the area. I try to always like be pretty neutral in my NFC North talk.
I was just hoping I could, I'm waiting. I never thought I'd be cheering so hard for Will Howard to get healthy. Like to see what at least we're working with.
Big Will Howard guy.
I like options.
Speaking of options, BC,
Okay.
we're going to do this exercise later where DB and I try and nail down a 2-deep. And so I wanted to ask you, you don't have to do the whole 2-deep right now, but I'm curious what position or position group you think is going to be the most challenging. And if it is defensive backs, I want your second place as well.
Yeah, I would say defensive backs just because, like, when you talk about the corners, like I can name off like kind of 3 through 6, but I don't know exactly how they would slot them. I don't, Damon might have a better feel than I do on that, but that I think Jeremiah Charles was at a good camp. Like Amari Sanders was a name that popped up a lot in the offseason. Donovan Jones has been moving around, and they said he was at corner last I knew. So cornerback after the top 2 is pretty interesting to me.
I think you have to go boundary field too. Like I think the boundary corners are.
What name did I leave off? I left.
I think for boundary, I would go with Marshall and Jones, D Jones on that side.
Mm-hmm.
I think on the field corner, I would go obviously Sierra Wright, and this is tough. I'll go Sierra, JJ, Amari in that order. Is that a bold take? Yeah, I'll go.
I don't know that it's. I know.
Yeah, I'll go Sierra, JJ, Amari in that order to the field.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
But boundary, I'll go Marshall and Donovan Jones.
Yeah, I don't think that's a hot take. Who's third behind Donovan Jones?
I don't know. Gets as a boundary corner.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know. Somebody could flip over.
Do you use one of the other guys?
But those guys got to be. You got to be. Boundary's boundary. You're gonna have to fit in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to set edges. I don't know. I think those are the 2 boundaries.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd go. I don't know enough to go deeper.
Yeah. Besides the DBs, I guess. I bet linebacker's kind of interesting too, just with some of the freshmen that are popping up, like into the mix, and Marquez Watson Trent was up there the other day, and he's talking about, man, some of these freshmen, they play at a better level than I've seen freshmen play. And so he's mentioned that's like Merritt and Christian Jones, and obviously Bowers in that mix as sort of a backup guy, and that. So how they kind of iron that out and what exactly it looks like on paper. And I think this is a year where you got to be careful when the paper comes out, if it does, like Friday or whatever, and you see it, online. It just be careful with it, I think, because it just feels like there's so many different mixing and matching combinations they can do. It's not like a depth chart that I think is easily just put down in black and white necessarily.
That's kind of the vibe I got from Phil Simpson in his answer, right? When he was talking about the Jackson stuff about their individual traits. Was that kind of your takeaway?
Yes. He said that, all different skill sets, same shared goal, basically. And so that there's going to be you could put on paper, this guy is maybe going to get more snaps, or we have a few more things for him than this other guy. But the bottom line is they need all three of those guys we've talked about at that position throughout, and maybe more. So honestly, it's a great question you asked about what are you wondering about? Because that you can go to each level on that defense and then get into a conversation like who's the fifth guy on the D line necessarily, and is Jalen George, who's been in a green jersey most of the offseason, how ready or game shape is he? Even though they love him, obviously, in his personality, so he's got to show that, I suppose.
Do you look at him different because he's older? Pet Shot, Hofkin, and those guys, and even Keona Day, those are younger guys, right?
Could be.
You look at George differently because he's older?
Yeah, it could be. I've been just waiting for that. Every time we popped over there, that green jersey was on. It's like, man, I just want to see him full go, because I was excited as him being a possible depth piece. So the fact that, it's because he's been asked about, but when you heard Matt Rhule talk about him and Jameer Khan on Saturday, and just the glowing compliments for the way they go about their business, I mean, those are guys that are going to factor in at some point. And
I can appreciate Khan's competitive stamina because he hasn't always been healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, he came in, he had to get some work done. I could, in that position group, BC, I can respect the fact he's hung in there emotionally when he wasn't always able to get reps, because it's very, very competitive on that back end.
You know what I love the most? The had 3 portal guys come up the other day. Khan, McCullough was one of them, and I can't remember the
Watson,
other.
Was it
Watson Trent was up.
Yeah, Watson Trent.
Yeah, I just wrote about him. My mind is mush at this point with all the different ways we've gone with storylines, but all those guys just present themselves. And I know it's a press conference, whatever, but they have a pros pro way about them that when you go back to Matt Rhule's initial comments, even earlier in the year, right after they got some of these additions, and just talking about gratitude and how, some of these guys just have a hunger for the game. And it does come out sometimes more in others in the way they can speak about it and communicate that. And I felt like all of those guys this week kind of had me nodding my head man, I see why, if they popped in for a visit in December or January when you're deciding who do I put on this roster, there's a lot in their mindsets that you would say, let's go with that. And I can get a lot done. So it does not surprise me after hearing all these guys kind of come up and hearing Rhule 7-8 months ago talk about what they were looking for. And then you combine that with John Butler saying how he really thinks they've batted a high clip with all those portal guys and they're going to help in all these different spots. It really computes, especially a week like this when you see those guys and how they're able to just present themselves.
BC, what is there a position? Let's talk about kind of the counterpoint. A position where you don't think whatever the depth chart says matters nearly as much as what we actually read.
I mean, maybe DB. maybe
I
O-line.
I didn't think of that one. You could talk me into DBs.
So DBs, you almost think like it could be, hey, like we've got veterans, we trust those guys. That's who it's going to be. It's not nearly as volatile as we think back there.
I was gonna say Jacks.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some good. Okay, I'm sorry. Finish the thought. I listen. It's one of those things where I asked the question, and I'm like, wait a minute.
That's a good question.
Even I don't want.
Why answer why you say that Jacks? What
skill sets, because I think they all do a little something different that I think I would like. Right. I think Dylan Rogers is relentless. Right. Like he'd be really good at the point of attack because he's not going to go away. McCullough is kind of long and angular. Maybe he could get vertical on you. I think Ochoa is got really high upside, but is still kind of learning how to play it. McGahee is a big fact. He's a big, not boom or bust, because I think that implies negativity, but he's either making a splash play or you may use him as a teachable moment, right? So I think everybody does a little something different. So they may be the most situational. And, I mean, full disclosure, it's kind of what Simpson was telling us when he took the podium. So I'm going by what he says.
The only reason I said defensive backs, it's a boring answer. It goes back to the spring. It's Rhule saying we just want to play a lot of guys back there, basically. But it was, when he's saying we have like 6 corners we feel good about. We have 5 or 6 safeties we feel good about. And so I think more than any, that could be a position, especially where in September it could bounce around a little bit, right? Where guys could earn their keep when the lights are on a little bit more. And I just think that that's a spot where things could shift over the course of the season. I think, they have a lot of veterans, which you could maybe set on the first line right now. But I've been saying this all offseason. I think, and this is a good thing, they've gotten to the point where they have those second or third year guys in the program. And also when you think about like Andrew Marshall and Kahn and these portal additions, where they're going to keep those top guys on their toes throughout. And that's the thing. That's the only point I'd make is this thing's fluid. It doesn't just stop Friday when a sheet of paper comes out and that's the way it is. This keeps going, and you see like, okay, who's got it when there's the live bullets, as they say, and who doesn't. And so that's why there's so many guys back there that are interesting that I'm very curious. Like when we get to Arrowhead, he popped up in this scheme, or when they're playing this defense, that guy's out there suddenly. So I am very interested, like how many guys work themselves into the game the first week, and then how it goes from there.
So BC, you started to say a secondary answer as well, and I think it was going to be O-line.
Yes, it was.
And that's
interesting.
That's where
you were going to go.
That's where my head went, was because I think I know who the 5 best offensive linemen are. I could definitely be wrong. But I also think there's things that they want out of certain guys, maybe messages that they're trying to send certain guys. I mean, we heard Coach Rhule talk about Elijah Pritchett. Like at some point, that guy's going to be one of your starting tackles. I'd bet a decent amount of money on that.
I still think quietly that was one of his best answers.
Talking about Pritchett, and he's got a long way to go.
He said, BC, I don't want to ask a leading question because you're very smart. What were your thoughts on where Pritchett is currently versus how many days were left in? Like, how'd that message land with you from a leadership standpoint when you're trying to continue to build and encourage guys that you think can help you?
My initial thought is there's not a lot of time left in camp. Yeah, like when you're hearing a player who, he's just got to work through some stuff. And, Dani's got a little bit different system or technique than some other guys too. And I think that's a part that is also a piece of the conversation. But my first thought was, that's whenever a person, when he said he's got to go a little bit, he's got a ways to do some things with this and that, and you're 2 weeks out from the season, you're like, well, there's not a lot of time for that. But the other thing I'd say is, if you look at Rhule's track record going back to Temple, he has actually some amazing stories of guys that he has challenged, guys who even, I'm not computing with Pritchett, but other guys who have actually left, come back and been like guys who made it to the NFL and stuff. So he does have a great sense of how to motivate guys, how to handle that publicly, whatever their situation may be. He said a lot of people are pouring into Elijah, so there's a lot of people working with him. But I mean, that's a tough spot to just come in and just knock some of these guys out. I mean, there's guys who have been in this program 4 or 5 years. Gunnar Gatula, I thought last year, for what he was asked to do, considering he was like third team, like in early August or whatever it was, and then he's starting at left tackle. I thought he did almost as good a job as you could do in that kind of position for where he was in his career and that moment meeting it. And so it's not an unimpressive group that is competing against Elijah. So I thought ever since he got here, I thought like he's going to have to go earn it, because there's some guys if they get everybody healthy, and sometimes in the spring we talk over guys too, like Prohaska and Corcoran. It's like they weren't there, or they're not going to be there, and it's like they might be at some point, and then it gets really interesting. And so the reason I also said O-line in my answer is because I always wonder at certain spots, if there was an injury and they got in a jam, would they necessarily go with the guy who might be listed on the second line at certain spots, or would someone shift? I think that's a position group where that you sometimes see that happen more.
BC, when is it I feel like I've heard kind of this reoccurring theme, and maybe it's more offense than defense, but you kind of hear this thing with Coach Holgerson, I'm sorry, about older guys, mature guys that have experience. I'm not trying to read into it, but I do think he said it on a few occasions where some of it was unsolicited. You think, how important do you ultimately think that is to him, especially given he's got such a young roster in some spots to begin with?
Well, I think it's a big deal because the advantage you should have, if you're like third, fourth, fifth year guy, is you can handle the basics a lot better than the guy who's first or second year, and you can line up right and some of that stuff. And Holgerson has also said, as crazy as it sounds, that's like, alignment. Like, that's the biggest thing. It's like get yourself in the right spot so we can use you. And you would expect those guys who have more miles behind them, have seen a few more things, to be able to do that at a better clip. It is an interesting setup too, isn't it, guys? When you play a tougher game, the opener, and you're in that setting like Arrowhead and all that, like, it isn't a deal where you can just go out there and you're playing some directional school the first week and you can just experiment all over the place. Like, I could see this first game in some ways being like, that experience factor is going to matter. You're going to need those guys, like whether we're talking defense or offense, who've been in this program and have been through some things in their career, like this first week, to step up and not have their not be quaking in their cleats or anything, and they just lead by how I'm not going to say lead by example. The Eckler would get after me, but this is how you do it in this setting. Let's go, guys. And I've been here and done that. So I could see where that first game experience especially could matter a lot. And then maybe you have a couple games that they would never say this publicly, nor should they, but maybe those will be the games where some guys can work themselves into spots that are younger. I don't know.
We're talking with Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7. BC, as we get closer, and I guess we're 8 days out at this point from the opening game. I've asked a couple people this, including at least one of your colleagues, and I'm curious because I feel like you process things a little bit differently than some people. Is there anything that you feel differently about now than you did when camp started?
Yeah, I need to answer a question. There's too much silence here. The people are listening. That's a good question.
That's where we need like the Jeopardy.
Yeah,
music.
you need
It's okay.
a filler. I think. Let me just start listing off a couple things that pop into mind. Like I could start with QB. I think Latif has had a really great story this offseason to be like in the at least the conversation, like making it a competition as sort of that backup. And I didn't necessarily think, if I went back to like December, I would not have guessed he'd be in this spot. And that's on me. Like I don't know why. I was sort of in that crowd that probably talked over or looked past him a little bit. And I really like how he's just put his head down and gone. And so the fact that he's made it interesting, and gets talked about with Gramstad for that number 2 spot, that's something that has changed in my mind from spring and even until the beginning of August. Like, he's really in the thick of it here, as a backup option. So that I do buy more than some the running back confidence that is building within this coaching staff. And I say more than some because I think there's some fans, and I understand this point of view too, who are pretty skeptical of that. They're like, I got to see that. They should want to see it. But I don't know, Mackay and Mosey and some of those guys, just the way a seasoned coach like Dana Holgerson talks about them. And I know there's a part of it where it's like you're pumping guys up and stuff, but they've got some skill sets that can work. If they can get those detail items right, I think that can be a good position as this season goes along. So I think the confidence that has stacked up sort of at that position, I've kind of nodded my head to, probably more than some people.
So let me, BC, when you mentioned Eckler a little bit ago, what unit do you think benefits the most from the young depth that they're trying to establish and develop in Kansas City? Like, where do you think it reveals, what unit do you think it will reveal itself the quickest in terms of what Nebraska's building with their roster?
I think receivers, maybe.
And what unit? Like punt return?
Oh, it's special?
Yeah. Because, I mean, that's usually where you see depth show up.
Okay.
Special teams.
Yeah. I think it's going to show up in the punt return game. I wasn't thinking special teams.
That'd be cool.
I think they're going to have some success there. Like, I know they have big goals and they want to lead the country. I thought the most interesting thing about when Eckler was talking about goals was wanting to just lead the country in attempts, he said at one point, in punt returns, and just the aggression that comes with that. And so I'm kind of taking the question a different route, but I just think that's going to be something that jumps out to us from what we've seen in the past, because we've been so used to that being a group where it's just like, just get the offense the ball, let that thing roll around, and like, let's go from there. And if that's the case and they really are shooting for that goal from week one, you're going to see a difference there of just like how they field punts, how they attack that and try to make something happen. And so that really is an interesting part going into the season, just because I think it's going to be such a contrast.
That's our guy, Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7. BC, we appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Yep. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, B.
Coming up next, we're going to talk to our friend Kevin Sjuts from 1011 News in Lincoln. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. More Hurrdat Sports Live coming up next.
The tackling piece obviously is something that I think is just never ending from now until the time you're done playing ball. Because obviously I think we had 3 or 4 live periods throughout the year, like scrimmages type things, and then the rest of it's stud. And then even in your tag off stuff, which we did a little bit today, you're just constantly preaching, chasing the near hip, taking the extra step, taking the air out of it, running through, where are your eyes. So I think that's something that really throughout the whole year, but when you look at using the analogy of preseason football, in the NFL, and then you look at the first 3 or 4 games of each year, the stuff that stands out is the tackling and the takeaways, right? The tackling and the lack of ball security because, quarterbacks haven't been hit, really ball carriers haven't been hit. So the team that's tackling better from a standpoint of the individual tackles plus population to the ball, I think is a huge thing.
Technique, I got better with my technique, a lot better with it. Still got to work on a few things, but I feel like I made major jumps in that.
Is there any kind of pass rushing move that Coach Braden's been working with you on?
He's been giving us a lot of pass rush moves at a different position. Like, and you got long arm, and then tackle, you got like double swipe, and then nose, club rip. But what I've been working on is double swipe.
Who are some other guys at your position that you've seen maybe make some progress even just in training camp?
Like we've all made major jumps since the beginning to the end. Big jumps. Cam has made a big jump. His get off has continued to improve. Riley, he's more agile. Judy, his pass rush is even better now. And then Will, he's gotten better with his steps.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
It definitely feels like I'm just back at home now, like back where I'm supposed to be, so it feels really comfortable playing.
What was the biggest adjustment in getting to where you are at this position?
Honestly, like I played it my freshman year, so it was really just getting back into the groove of things, getting back to the physicality, being back closer to the ball, switching fronts, movement, stuff like that, kind of just getting back into that mode, but it didn't take long.
Is there a mindset or a certain technique that's different that you kind of got to switch over to for that?
Maybe just your mindset. Your mindset's just more physical because you're going head on head against somebody every play. When I was playing in the back end, there were some plays where you don't take off, but like there's some plays where you're not physically involved. So I'd say from that standpoint, just getting my body back in that condition.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. It's still hot outside, and we still have our summer specials going as well. Don't forget to come check them out, whether it's at the La Vista or Gretna location. We've still got them. It's August, still summertime. Don't worry about it. Come on out, Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. And now we've got our friend Kevin Sjuts from 1011 News in Lincoln joining us. Kevin, how are you this morning?
I'm doing well. Good morning to you, boys.
So, Kev, this is interesting. I'm listening. I'm comparing and contrasting, and I always like to talk to you because you understand the volleyball landscape really, really well. And there's more than a couple ways to skin a cat. You listen to guys like Coach Rhule and then head coaches like DBK. Both very confident, but have a very different cadence when they talk. So far, when you're listening to DBK, because I want to start with her and kind of her cadence and her delivery about what she wants, right? I want to play like we practice, and practice is really competitive. And hey,
like be aggressive in everything we do.
Choboy is a little unorthodox. It's a little choppy. I want to see that. Like she tells us a lot of what we need to know. but the cadence is different. When you're listening to DBK early on, what are some of your initial takeaways in terms of her presence with the podium when she's talking about the potential for this volleyball team?
She's confident. She's pretty blunt. And there's just not a whole lot of filter there. And I've always been impressed with Dani's ability to just kind of tell it how it is without crossing the line of arrogance. And maybe that just goes to the talent that she has on the team. But if you kind of look at the makeup, think about who she surrounds herself with daily, like in the gym. She's got a veteran coaching staff. Jalen's a super confident assistant coach. Kelly gets better as a coach every single year. She's got some youthfulness on the staff with.
She's still got some game left too.
Yeah, I mean, she's she's been a head coach how long? 10 years? Something like 10, 12 years, something like that. The players she's around every single day, you can't perform at that elite level if you're not confident in yourself. And Harper is confident in what she can do. Andy Jackson is confident in what she can do. And we can keep going down 1 through 17. All those girls believe they can play. And so I just think that's kind of like embedded in the DNA of the program. Some of it handed over from John Cook, but I think Dani, just given her experience and just the way she's hooked up, I really am impressed with the fact that she's willing to say what she sees, tell it how it is, and make no bones about it. And she's got the team to back it up.
Kevin, does she remind you of anybody? The way she kind of, because like it seems, and maybe my encyclopedia is not just going back far enough here, but like I'm trying to remember anybody that sort of talks like her, and I'm having a hard time coming up with a comparison.
And you're still motivated, right? She's not over the top.
Which I kind of like, because I'm not a big rah-rah guy, but you can say things that'll get me
and
going.
she injects. It's interesting.
It's a strain. It's not strained, but it's a different kind of delivery. Does she remind you of anybody, Kevin?
No, and I don't know that I'm the most qualified person to speak on that. I know Dani personally too, so you know, I know Dani before she was the head coach at Louisville. I knew Dani before she was an assistant coach at Tennessee. You know, so it's really difficult for me to like differentiate. She's just, and that's one of the cool things for me is like she's true to herself, and it's not like all the different things she's experienced. You know, as an assistant coach under John, and then being the head coach at Louisville, and learning to run a program, and you know, throwing herself into that community and building Louisville volleyball to, you know, what it is right now, and now as Nebraska's head coach, and being back home and being by mom and dad and being around her brother regularly and being a part of the Lincoln community, like, and he's still Dani. Like, it's a really cool thing. And she's always been confident in herself. And I do think just her positivity. And I remember the first practice, you know, Nebraska's first practice of the preseason. One of my biggest takeaways from the, whatever it was, 2 hours that we got to get video and just watch them drill and everything, it wasn't about like the setter situation or Virginia being on the court with these players and learning American volleyball. It was the fact that Dani smiles all the time during practice. You know, like she just has a grin, and whether she's working with the setters or whether she's chopping it up with her assistant coaches, like there's just some positivity and happiness that radiates from her. And I think that it breathes a lot of life into her players. And I think that that's one of the underlying reasons why the players have said that, like, practice is fun. They love training. And I also think they like the fact that Dani just likes to see him play volleyball. And they scrimmage all the time. Yeah. And with this group, you know, 1 through 17, there's no, like, team. If they were to mix in, you know, a group of 6 to play in a scrimmage setting, there's no team that's, you know, going to hold everybody else back. Everybody's good.
Let me ask you, like, conversely, I'm kind of coming off the heels of listening to Coach Rhule on Saturday and getting the vibe. And he's almost just the opposite kind of as an orator, right? But whether it's the vocab or the smoothness in the delivery, yet I'm getting a very similar message that he comes across as a coach that really likes this football team this year. Is that kind of been the sense that you've been getting as you've listened to him throughout this offseason and as they closed out camp last week?
Yeah, I've even thought about this on the opposite side because he has said he really likes this team. This is some of the most fun he's had coaching in a long, long time, and he shared that openly, publicly. When has there been a moment throughout the preseason, whether it was back in the spring or during fall camp, where he has maybe put in one of those sneaky lines where he's challenging a player or a position group? I cannot think of anything. The only possible hint of that was we got to tackle a little bit better.
Yep.
And it was like 3 seconds of a 25-minute interview. So the fact that, like, his criticism of the team, like, there doesn't really seem to be much of one. And I can reference back to multiple occasions, year one, year two, where he would use the microphone and the cameras on to send a message to a player, a position group, or perhaps one of his coaches to try to pick it up a little bit. But he always does it so tactfully and in such a strategic way.
Yeah.
There's one offensive lineman in particular that I think he was just wanting to get a little bit more out of during spring football. And I walked away from that interview session going, wow, like, you don't hear a coach in the spring often challenge a player like that, but it paid off in the fall. So, I've just tried to pay attention to when that moment is where he calls out one of the kickers and says, listen, we got to be better in a big time moment. Or like, our offensive line had too many missed assignments or breakdowns, or we were procedurally wrong today. Like, the whole camp, the whole spring, it's been kind of devoid of any of those moments.
Kevin, you and I, and Robbie, we get these emails, right? The updates on media availability, and there's been a lot of fluctuation the last handful of days. And I don't know if I'm reading into this or not with practice times, but this staff appears to be very in tune with what this team needs and when they need to be doing it, right? I know some people get frustrated with, oh, this is different, or this schedule changed, or now it's 2:00 or whatever. But to me, it looks like he's trying to get a gauge and read the pulse of what his team needs and when they need to be doing what they're doing. And he's willing to be flexible within those confines, right? Like, how are you kind of viewing every day when you click on an email and it's something maybe a little different than what you thought it was going to be the day before?
Well, it just proves to us that you can't plan any day 24 hours in advance because it's completely flipped.
Isn't it? I've never really seen it like this, but I actually kind of like it.
I've had to rearrange several interviews here over the past couple of weeks just because, Nebraska football, that's got to be the beat. It's the big thing, Even a couple of text messages out last night to some high school coaches like, hey, I'm so sorry. We really want to check out your team, but we just had a change here with Rhule and the guys, so we're going to have to reschedule and make some moves like that. I don't think it's going to continue, though, with some of the, light on your feet and, moving structure of practice and meetings and interviews and so on and so forth, because the boys got to get in school here, right? And when class starts, there has to be some sort of routine. So if there is a time to mix and match the way that you orchestrate every day in the things you want to get accomplished, you can do it now. But we're falling into the backside of August, and that's when the semester is really going to kick in, and academics are going to play a big role with these guys. You got to make sure that there's some sort of routine and structure. And even the Thursday season opening game, that's a little goofy.
It is.
So the routine of the football season, and that's one of the beauties of football season, in my opinion, is week to week there is a cadence to it, and there's some comfortability with it's kind of rinse and repeat, and you just get to, maximize because you don't have to worry about the mental toil of what does this day look like. It was so different than yesterday. There's just some consistency once the season begins. But for Nebraska with the Thursday game, the consistency actually doesn't hit until September, second week of September, something like that, because I don't know that first game, camp ending, it's everything's just so fluid right now. But I look forward to mid-September when it's going to be a little bit more. We know exactly what to expect.
As a Lincolnite, Kev, probably more pride if we're going to just stick with the gridiron, the fact that Gunnar Gatula continues to thrive. I think if they're being honest, Coach Gatula was going to tell you, hey, listen, you know what? I thought all along my son was a pretty good player. Not sure the state recognized that. Or you go over to the Gators and North Star and you see a guy like Tyrell Chapman, like be acknowledged and recognized as part of this Super Six. Not a bad little stretch for local gridiron recognition and what's going on with those two guys.
Oh, not at all. And yeah, Coach Gatula would not say anything about it.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good. Words are hard to come by with the old ball coach. You're right about that. Let alone praise.
Oh my goodness, no kidding, right? We can barely get him to, give us more than 10 seconds to say, yeah, we've got a good team on our hands, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's delivered with such little emotion too. It's so hard to get a read with Lincoln Southeast. I know they have such a huge fan base and they're a contender in the city every single year, but we have to see it for our own eyes.
Yeah.
We can't take it from the other people talking to us because they give us nothing. But I love Coach Gatula. He's awesome. And the funny thing is, you can end the recorder, you can stop the video, and he and I typically have the greatest conversations. We just can't talk about football.
I would just love to hear him say, yeah, you know what, I thought my son's gonna be pretty good. I'm glad, just give Gunnar a look, because he's kind of flown under the radar to be flourishing as well as he is.
Yeah, and when Gunnar was a senior, that Southeast team, they had some dudes on the offensive line. And the other tackle they had, his name's escaping me right now. I want to say the last name is Johnson. I think he's at Iowa Western now. So it's like they had two twin towers holding down the line, and it was such a luxury for them. And that's where, you would ask, Coach Gatula about Gunnar, and he's like, well, it's not just him. So it's like another reason for him to just kind of deflect a little bit. But to your point about bringing Tyrell Chapman, I'm so excited to watch him play this year. And Lincoln North Star, I think, is primed to have a pretty good year in the city. The thing with Chapman, though, yeah, he plays quarterback, but I use air quotes with that because he's the type of guy that they could line him up in the backfield. They could put him at tight end. They could put him at wide receiver. I think they're going to be a really hard team to scout just because they can be pretty multiple offensively. And Chapman's going to get the ball, but how does he get the ball? That's going to be a big mystery, and I could see it changing from week to week. Really, where he is at his best is on the defensive side of the football, and he's going to Iowa State, of course, where he's going to play corner for the Cyclones. I just think he's going to be the best athlete in the city. He is so fast. And if you see him, stand next to him, you don't recognize, this dude's got some wheels.
Yeah.
He can. He maybe didn't get the shine he deserved in the track season just because of Charlie Thorne. Thorne broke all the records and won the 400, but Chapman was on his heels all season long. And because Charlie had such an amazing year, Chapman maybe didn't get the love that he deserved in the track and field season.
Yeah, they got a chance to make some hay, right? They start, I think, with Southwest, then they go to Papio maybe. But I got my eye on that 9-12 date when they get the Storm at Elkhorn South, which I think in week 3 will tell us quite a bit about where those guys are. That one's interesting because I think Elk South's got some pretty good skill. And I like guys like Setko.
Yeah, I do too. The one thing I'll say about Lincoln football this year, guys, I'm just really – it's disappointing that a lot of the Lincoln teams don't play each other.
Yeah.
And, of course, you get Southeast, Southwest, and you're going to get Southwest, East. But – there are multiple teams in Lincoln that have only one city opponent this year, and that breaks my heart.
Hey, North Star is one of them. They only play Lincoln Southwest.
It's kind of ridiculous, to be honest with you. These are the guys that they grew up playing midget football against, and these are the dudes that they, go to camp with. And, these are the fan bases that like to talk a little smack. And, when you go to Seacrest Field and it's Southeast, Southwest, there's a pretty vibrant atmosphere. All due respect to, I'm going to pick a random thing, Papillion La Vista. When Papillion La Vista comes to play Lincoln East, it just feels different.
Yeah.
They could be two playoff contending teams, but when you get two city teams to play against each other, it's a community event. It's less of a community event when it is Lincoln versus Omaha or Grand Island or Kearney or Columbus or Norfolk. So the fact that the schedules played out the way that they have this year, and there are just so few Lincoln versus Lincoln games, it's really unfortunate. But we know this is the last year of the scheduling cycle, so maybe things can revert back next year. I just think that a lot of these teams are fairly even in Lincoln, or if they're not, I don't know. And I won't know because they don't play each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and I know Southwest is probably like, hey, we're the one random, right? Because I think they got North Star, they've got Southeast, I think they got Lincoln East, I think they got Lincoln Northeast. Southwest seems to be the only team that's maybe going to get them all except for Lincoln High.
Yeah, and Southwest might benefit from that because if football in Lincoln is down a little bit this year, it could be. We don't know right now.
Yeah.
But if it is, all of a sudden they just racked up a ton of wins.
Good point.
That's just by the nature of their schedule. And there might be other teams across the state saying, hey, we want to play all the Lincoln teams we possibly can. But I just think it would be better for Class A football. It would be better for the capital city. And it would be better for these individual schools to have those games to look forward to. I would even think that the students walking the halls, when you're at Southwest and it's Southeast week, there's a pep in your step.
Yeah.
And it's something to look forward to. And everybody's talking about Friday night all week long. But it just doesn't have that appeal and the juice when you don't have those games, And I'm not saying that they should have 8 games against city opponents. How about just 4? Let them have 1, and it's just kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's our guy, Kevin Sjuts, 1011 News in Lincoln. Kevin, appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Kevin.
So since we're talking about
some week 1 gems,
since we're talking about Lincoln football, you brought up Lincoln Southeast with Gatula, kind of in the spirit of the last 24 hours. I'd like to officially claim the 2002 Nebraska State Football Championship for Millard North, since they got screwed on that 4th and 1 call with John McCardle down in the red zone.
Shoot.
In the spirit of Auburn, we're taking that. That's now a Millard North State title. Congratulations, Mustangs. Way to go.
Yeah.
Keep watering the bamboo.
Love those retroactive titles.
Hey, we got one. So, congrats, Coach Petito. You got 6 now. He's going in the Millard North Hall of Fame coming up next week.
Yeah, good on him.
Well deserved. But
was it 41 years?
42? Longer than that, 81 to 2024. 81, 82. Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a long time.
It's never too late to right or wrong, I guess.
That's right. Shane's got it. 2002 Nebraska State Football Champions, Millard North. Congratulations, guys.
But it's been an hour and a half since we heard from you. Welcome back to the show, Shane. You got off to a good start.
He was on a heater earlier. He probably had to take a nap. He kind of wore himself out earlier.
Were you like, my day's done?
Segment 1, he had to go smoke a cigarette and call it a day.
I feel like we have a lot of dogs on this team, man, and I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Let's take a quick break here, then I'm going to make DB go through a two deep because it is Wednesday. So we will be back with more Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I remember when he first got the job, and I wasn't committed at the time, and he sent me this long text, and it basically said, like, hey, Dylan, this is Coach Rhule. I just got hired at Nebraska.
I think overall as a group, we're doing a pretty good job at working. I mean, I think the everyday process, just whether it's the install or just the communication aspect and just getting comfortable with side of the ball, guys in the room doing a good job of working together. And we talk about move detail a lot, so we're just talking about just a selfless act and just continue to work together. So guys doing a really good job of kind of just supporting each other. And then in terms of rushing the quarterback, I mean, it's just a percentage of what they're here for, right? You got to be a complete ball player. You got to earn to be able to rush the pass on 3rd downs. We got to stop the run as well. You got to be able to defeat pullers and snipers coming back. So it's an all-around game. Of course, we work pass rush ability, but it's also just being a complete player.
Centris Federal Credit Union, we understand that the journey of building your own business typically starts with modest beginnings. With a little help from our team of experts and small business loan offerings, you can take your vision and transform it into a more concrete reality. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
This is great. Like I said when I first came here, can't get bored with the fundamentals. And we staying consistent with the fundamentals. And that's going to carry us over to the first game. And I think it's going to be a great time with shocking effort.
From the scrimmages that you put together, just what have you seen the guys' ability to rush the passer and generate pressure as well?
I've seen a lot of great things from Will being a defined move, getting to the quarterback, rush area, move area, and then about to finish from Keona Davis, Van Papa Cam, moving inside to outside. I've been seeing a lot of great things from these guys. First of all, getting off the ball, rushing the passer, and just having shocking effort.
Some of the guys have spoken about that, you're working with them about having a move that is your specialty. Have you seen them really embrace that idea?
Yes, I really believe a guy has one move. You got a go-to move, counter, and power. But we're really focusing on one move. What's your move? Have a plan, get to the quarterback. But the main thing is about finishing.
There's a lot of different things that are pretty different. Obviously, the resources, the facilities, having an indoor is great. SIU didn't have one. SIU is a great school. Helped me get better in a lot of different ways as a man, and on the field, obviously. Coming here has helped me a lot. Also, made my body way better. I'm a lot stronger, a lot faster than I was. So everything's been great. Yeah.
Hey, Jameer, Coach Rhule on Saturday talked about some of you guys who came from the FCS level, you and Jalen in particular, but you could put Andrew Marshall in that category too.
Yes, sir.
Bring in the hunger, he said, and other players feeding off that. What is that? Do you feel that way, and what does that mean to you?
I feel that way. We bring a different energy, a different mindset. Obviously, we came from SCS, not as much NIL, things of that nature, that whole realm. So I feel like we had to work for everything we've gotten.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back. Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. They say education is the silver bullet, but that doesn't just stop when you're in school. You got to continue learning the rest of your life, especially when it comes to your finances, and that's where Centris Federal Credit Union can help you out. They have financial education resources for you right at your fingertips, from podcasts to their enriched part of their website as well at centrisfcu.org. You can learn all you need to know about your finances and talk to experts to help you out there as well. It's centrisfcu.org. It's federally insured by NCUA. DB?
How we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
You seem like you're having a good morning.
No, I'm not. No, you got off to a horrible
I
start.
thought we were having a good time. You were
No.
laughing. I thought we were.
I am not okay.
Exactly.
Thought we were having a nice little camaraderie here. No.
Oh man.
Okay. All right. Well, that's my bad.
False advertising.
That's my bad. We'll try and clean that up a little
I
bit.
don't believe a word of it.
So I wanted to.
I mean, not one. Not a one.
DB, would you like to get to the two deep?
Sure.
I'll
give it a shot.
Let's start with, because I want to start with a couple questions here, right? because
Okay.
you've referenced positions in the defensive backfield a couple times.
Yes.
And I want to make sure these might be dumb questions, but if I don't know, maybe some
Might
other
be a
people,
dumb question.
maybe some other people don't know either, right?
Okay.
So you've referenced kind of the different safety and corner spots.
Okay.
And I'd like to kind of talk about their responsibilities a little bit.
Sure.
So you mentioned a field and a boundary safety.
Yep.
Right? You said field safety, sometimes they have to fit in the run more, maybe set the edge a little bit. Like what's the difference between a field and a boundary safety?
That's about right. Well, boundary is kind of your post safety, hash, deep hole guy. Doesn't get a chance to get real busy sometimes. Got to be opportunistic, smart.
So he's like the umbrella.
Got to be pretty smart. You need athleticism. I still think tackling in the open field, especially weak side stuff, you got to be able to, got to be pretty good and heady. As the boundary guy. Your other safety type is your rover, where he's probably a little bigger, rangy, not rangier, but probably your eighth fitter
in the run game.
In the run game,
a little bit more of a tweener between like a linebacker and a safety. Typically,
maybe
not size wise, but kind of responsibility wise.
The mentality and how they want to use them.
Yeah,
correct. And then your third safety is going to be the guy that, in essence, is kind of playing your nickel. He's probably more of your cover guy.
Okay. It's more of like a corner safety hybrid.
Still got to be able to tackle, because he may find his way down to the second level a little bit, especially if he's got number twos, next out. So
is that a guy that might end up covering like tight ends some of the time?
Not as much.
Okay.
Probably true displaced number twos.
Okay.
For the most part, but it depends on your coverage.
Okay.
Just in lay terms.
And then, so those are the safeties. For the corners, is there different responsibilities based on, or is it just more just who you're covering?
Just how you get lined up.
Okay.
I mean, middle of the field, it is what it is. Boundary probably goes away from strength. Middle of the field. If it's on a hash, boundary's boundary.
Yeah.
Infield is field.
So you're basically just going short side.
Yeah, like we have two different calls, if this makes sense. We have a strong and a weak, right? We may Roger, Linda, whatever, but then we'll also go field or we'll go boundary. Sometimes you want a boundary pressure that's away from strength. So
Okay.
they're not, or a field pressure.
It's a little bit more fluid.
That, yeah, we like to make the designation. So we may give signals that are, you might just say, well, why not just call a strong side pressure? It might not be to the strength where we want to bring the pressure from. So we'll designate field or boundary.
Okay.
And it's separate than strength.
Right.
Okay. So just little nuances there.
So the reason I asked that question before we get into this is I do think that's going to make a difference in how we're, like, if we want to get specific about the two deep,
yes,
then it's going to make a difference based on who's playing where and what their skill sets are.
Yep.
Although I know in the secondary there is some cross training between some of those spots.
Yeah, I was glad that Coach Butler made the designation, like, let's say for a guy like Donovan Jones, and he was telling the truth. And you know this because I told you.
Yeah.
When it happened that, DJ moved before Bly Hill was hurt.
Yeah, that's accurate.
And so I think, they're obviously going to try to play to his strengths. And as we could see, they're going to need some depth rotationally in the secondary. And I think Dani provides that for him because he's versatile.
Yeah, can do some different
Yeah,
things.
and I, for whatever the reason, I think they like him more at corner than at the safety spot.
Do you like him more as a safety?
Hard
to tell.
Yeah, because I like him.
Yeah.
But I could see even though he's athletic, like flipping, he's so dang big.
Yeah.
He is deceptively big.
Yeah.
I could see them leaning towards, since he's kind of big and fast, being a one side corner than a two-way change of direction guy. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's man.
They have shown sort of a desire to have some big corners if they can find them, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So that kind of checks out.
It checks the boxes
with what they want there, and I think.
And you look at a guy like Marshall's frame.
Yeah.
It's a strong.
Yeah. I mean, even you look at Tommy Hill last year. Like that's a big guy. Now he got
two different body types.
But I think they liked how big Tommy Hill was.
Yeah. Well, they were pretty particular in terms of wanting him to play at a certain weight.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, T. Hill played 30 pounds less than when he left. He just was he was just a hard guy to get to buy into where they wanted his body to be. And then you downtime and a bad foot, and you can't really, you got to take care of yourself when you're not on the field. Like the body type changed quite a bit. So not all 200 pounds are created equally.
100%.
So, it's not so much the numbers in terms of weight, it's how you carry it.
Composition. Yeah. No, I definitely understand. All right. So let's start with the defense then.
Okay.
Let's go. So I've got, tell me if I'm wrong positionally here, but I've got DN, D tackle, DN, Jack
Correct.
as your front.
Okay.
I'm going 2 linebackers.
Okay.
And then I've got my rover, field, boundary, corner.
Rover. So I'd go rover, boundary. Yeah, sure.
I mean, order. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Those are the
That's
right
fine.
spots,
That's
right?
fine. That's
Okay.
fine. Yeah.
All right. So let's start with the end. We can both give these, but my DN's starters are Cam and Keona.
Okay.
I mean, that's who I think.
I'll rock with that.
Okay. Cam Lenhart, Keona Davis.
It's pretty good.
Who are their backups? That's where this gets a little tricky.
Ooh. I will go. Let me work inside out. So I'll go RVP and Judy.
Okay. Because that's easy, right? Those are. I mean, I think that's one of the places.
Even though they could play together, yeah, I'll go RVP and Judy.
I feel like that's one of the places we know. Okay, so hold on. If they play together, who moves outside? RVP.
Yeah.
Because more athletic.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'll just make sure.
Behind. Let's go Inwanari.
Okay. I think that would make everyone very happy if that was true.
And
it gets a little tricky here.
Yeah, let's move Judy outside and George inside.
Oh, okay.
This is.
Do you think George can play outside or no?
Mm-mm.
Okay, George has to play inside.
I mean, you saw his body. What do you think?
I mean, I thought maybe if they were going like with trying to be a bigger front,
little bigger?
I mean, like he's 285, 290, I think.
Yeah.
Big guy.
He could play in a 4. He could play in a 5.
Yeah, if they have him maybe in there as maybe a second D tackle instead of a jack, and they do a 4 front. I wasn't really sure.
For that purpose, let's just do that. Let me move George inside and Judy outside.
Okay. So those are our.
I don't love that.
We've got 6 defensive linemen.
Yeah.
If you didn't do that, who would it be?
I think the next 3 D linemen up would be some combination of Petschak, Hofkin,
Goldman,
and Goldman.
Okay. Oh, you've been pretty high on Goldman.
Yeah. I hope I passed this, but with him, I may lack objectivity.
Okay. You just
I'm
like him.
willing to entertain that.
You just like him.
I just think he's how do I say this? He's better than you think at first blush. He's a guy where you go back and you watch tape and you're like, man, I probably need to get that guy more reps. That's how I look at Goldman.
Okay. So it doesn't necessarily like jump off the page real time, but you go watch him and you're like, that guy's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of the things I like.
That's how I look at it.
Okay.
So this is just DB's opinion.
I will say, and
I'm not trying to cram him down your throat because he hasn't come up a ton.
Yeah.
But that's what I would do.
I know we've talked about Jalen George a little bit, and I'm literally just basing this off of like a few non-contact drills because he wasn't in the contact drills, obviously. Like he moves a little differently than some of the other guys. Like he's got some really violent movements that I liked a lot. just going like ripping through bags and stuff like that. This I don't know if this sounds weird. You've been to way more football practices than I have. Just in not like Nebraska. I'm just meaning like playing, coaching, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like it set when he was like ripping through the bags. Like it sounded different when he made contact.
He's very fluid. He is an explosive, powerful dude.
And so I look at that and I go, okay, I don't know if he can actually play football or not, but there's something in there that not everyone has.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's why I brought him up to you.
With that.
All right, let's move to the Jack. I think this is a really complicated spot.
I have no idea. Let's just go with 4 and sort them as you will.
McCullough,
I go McCullough.
McGahee.
I go McCullough, Ochoa, McGahee, and Dylan Rogers.
Okay. We got 4 deep on, and we might see more than one Jack on the field at the same time, or no?
Well, they got those pass rushing packages that Coach Rhule alluded to,
Yeah.
where he said, Coach Butler could get creative. I haven't obviously seen it not being there, but I mean, I'll go by the words that they say.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Linebacker, I'm assuming Javen Wright and Vincent Shavers.
I'm gonna go Shavers and Wright.
Okay. Who are our backups?
Watson, Trent, and Bauer. Boy, that inside is interesting.
Bauer, huh? Interesting.
I know you didn't like him in coverage that night. Poo.
It was a little rough.
Yeah.
It's one practice, I'm willing to entertain that.
And you build defenses to play the strengths. I mean, you could make it so Bauer has number 4 receiver out.
Okay.
Right. And if you're picking a side, chances are he'll never be in coverage if he has number 4 out.
So answer me this just to entertain me. If it's not Bauer, who is it?
I don't think anybody's ready yet.
That's kind of what I'm looking at. Like I'm just going through the list here. I don't know that anybody.
I think
else is
CJ's
ready.
probably still swimming in it a little bit, and Merritt is young.
Is Merritt like physically? Because he came in a little leaner, right?
He's big.
Is he physically big,
yeah.
like ready?
I don't know. I'd have to watch him a little more, see if he's making plays, playing through things or running around things.
Okay. Because he's taller.
You're not going to make a living running around, but he is very athletic to be on the inside. I don't think anybody penciled him in as an inside guy.
I certainly didn't.
I mean, if they do, shout out.
He's taller, leaner than you typically see inside guys.
Yeah.
Because he's like 6'3", right?
But he's put on good weight. I told Coach Rhule in the offseason, I'm willing to be wrong about Merritt.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what he said? Oh, you will be, bro.
Go Big Red.
Let's go.
All right, I guess that's how it's going to be. All right, so we're going Wright, Watson, Trent, Shavers, Bauer at the linebacker spots. What do you have for Rover? So it's going to be Singleton, right?
I'll go with. Oh, that's tough. I'll go with Rex Guthrie.
Okay. They like Rex?
I'll go with Rex.
You like Rex?
Yeah.
So can I know you're not going to say this, so I will. This is the spot I wanted Caleb at. I like him as a Rover.
I've never asked him about it. I don't know. Like ideally, I think I would too. But if you pit it against the last place I'd have him is probably where he is now. That's just me though.
Yeah.
But I think what they're figuring out is that he can make a lot of plays from that position too.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
The reason I say that with Rover is the number of times I saw that dude come downhill with no hesitation and bad intentions in high school. I was like, I kind of want that out of my Rover spot.
Caleb Benning.
No, I don't know if he's as.
He had a really nice one on Mackay the other day.
Yeah.
Really, really nice one in the open field.
I like that was probably my favorite part about his game as a defensive back was his ability to do that. Now, obviously, he was really good in all.
Yeah, I'll go with
get Rex.
Yeah, I almost said Branch. I'll take Guthrie.
All right, field safety.
I'll take Buford and Benning.
All right. Boundary safety. Is that Hartzog?
I'll take Hartzog and Kahn.
All right. Jameer. All right. Corners, I think we know who our starters are.
I'll take
with
so
Sierra.
so boundary. I'll go Marshall.
Okay.
And I'll put Donovan over there.
Marshall and Donovan on the boundary corner.
Yep.
Okay.
Then field, I'll go Sierra. JJ.
Okay. Charles.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Sanders.
Okay. Amari.
Yeah.
All right. That's our defense. How do you feel?
I don't know. I'll tell you on Monday when it comes out.
This is the team I've been waiting for.
I'm going to ask you a different question when we're done with the offense, but let's roll through this real quick.
Oh, fudge.
Quarterback, Riola. Who
Yep.
you got your backup?
I don't know.
This
Today, I'll go Grahamstead.
Can I just be honest? This isn't a hot take. I think we're going to come out with a big fat or on the QB2.
Yeah, I mean, Dana talking about TJ unsolicited obviously changes my train of thought.
Yeah.
Because it's just not what Dana does.
Are you sticking with Emmett as
Yep.
RB1? Okay.
Yep.
And then Mackay?
Yep.
All right. Wide receiver.
I think top four, I'll go Hunter, Key, Barney, Bonner.
Do we want to differentiate
and the
between-
rotate X's and Z's? No.
Okay. Hunter, Key, Barney, Bonner.
Yeah. And then I'll go Quinn, Clark, and Keelan. Rotational.
Do you think people will be surprised if Cortez Mills isn't in the top 6?
They shouldn't be.
Okay.
Close. I mean, he's right there.
In the neighborhood?
Yeah.
Tight ends, we got Lindemeyer.
Yep.
Who's your second tight end?
I'm gonna go with Harburg.
Okay. I would agree.
I'm gonna go with H2.
All right, now we're getting to the hard spots. Well, let's do the interior because I feel like we know that first. Justin Evans at center.
Yep.
Sledge is the backup?
Yeah.
Okay.
At some point, you're gonna have to find a place for Sledge to go.
He's one of those guys that makes you uncomfortable. He's not on the field?
Yep.
Okay.
At least for me.
Yeah. Left guard, Latovsky.
Yep.
Who's my backup left guard?
It's tough. I don't know. Machacek, maybe?
Okay. I'm not going to spell that. Jason M. Right
guard is Spindler. Tough. Let's go. Will they move Corcoran back inside? I feel like he should be somewhere in the 2 deep.
I feel like he should be inside.
Let's put him at right guard.
I think so.
Let's guess. We'll put him at right guard.
Because I think you've got 4 tackles.
Yeah, let's put him at guard.
All right. Let's do right tackle first.
Let's go Pritchett.
Okay.
And Kanak.
Left tackle.
Gatula. And Teddy.
I agree.
Do you? Because I mean, I'm just giving you the guys that I think.
So that's why I said when we were talking to B and we were talking about O-line and when I said the depth chart may not matter.
I understand that now.
Yeah.
I understand.
Those are the guys that I think are going to end up being your starting or your main 5 offensive linemen, right? I think based on what we heard out of Coach Rhule last week, maybe Pritchett needs to learn a few more things or understand a few more things from how he operates in order to earn that starting spot. But eventually he's going to be one of your starting tackles. I feel pretty strongly about that.
Brian, or should I say BD, why do you think Nebraska can't stop the run?
I thought we were over this.
No, he's BD today, but same kind of negative sentiment. I mean, he texts or he types the same.
I also do think Gunnar Gatula is going to end up being one of your start tackles. I feel strongly about that.
Yeah, I'm. It's a dumb word, but I'm like proud of his perseverance.
No, I think that's great.
Because I think he was other than
He was
also then.
He was the also ran all other like also then however you want to put it. He was a guy we did not care about until we had to.
Yep.
And he made us.
Yep.
And now I don't know how you keep him off the field.
And everybody we're pretty dismissive of him in the spring too.
Yeah.
I mean, yellow jersey, looks super slight.
I wasn't.
Wow.
But in general, yes. Yeah. I think Gatula has often been the forgotten man, and he's jogged our members.
That combo of the O-line is intriguing.
Is this a situation where Sledge might be also the backup at some of the guard spots?
Maybe.
Because he's capable,
he's clearly a cross trainer,
right? And if he's a guy that you feel bad not having,
he's got a chance to be really good.
You know what I mean? Like maybe you want him to have opportunities at multiple spots.
Got a lot of his dad's personality in him too. Big, strong, mean kid. Really good technician.
Because what was that class? That was Sledge, Gatula, Knutson, and Goldman, all in-state offensive line recruits in that same class, right?
Yep. And they all have a chance to.
They all have a chance to play.
Yep.
But who's the only one that has gotten starts at the spot? And who's the one we probably thought the least about in that class?
Gatula.
Gunnar Gatula.
Yep.
So that's what you're talking about.
That's factual.
That's what we're talking about.
It's factual.
Okay, so now that we've done the two deep, I know that was painful for you. I appreciate you playing along with me.
I'm trying.
I'm curious about how, I think confidence ranking is the term I want to use. Where would you have your confidence ranking on the different position groups? I want to start with your highest confidence ranking. Based on the two deep we just put together, what group are you the most confident in?
Offensive line.
I would agree. I think that's a no-brainer.
Offensive line.
Who would be second, since we both agree on that too quickly? We can't agree that much. You know how this goes.
I'm gonna throw you a John Tudor curveball.
Okay.
Clayton Kershaw, 12-6.
Got the big breaker coming. Big Barry Zito guy.
It's close.
There's a couple spots I'm thinking about here.
It's close. I'll go secondary. The curveball was gonna be, but up next, insides.
The D tackles?
Inside backers.
Oh, inside backers. So I actually thought about linebackers.
Inside backers.
I like those. You give me Javier Wright and Vincent Shavers, I feel pretty good.
And
then Watson Trent.
Yeah. I'm tempted to put them second. Plus, I love Dvorak.
Yeah, that's true. That is your guy.
I'll go.
Can I throw a wild card out there?
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to be like, well, part of me wants to say quarterback just because I think Dylan's going to be really, really good. And then after that, I'll take my chances. But I don't want to do that because I really don't have any idea what's behind him, even though I kind of made the point yesterday that I think Dana could sort of scheme Gramstad if he really knows what he's doing to the degree that he says he does. He could kind of scheme him into a Texas Tech-looking quarterback in terms of being effective offensively. But, there's a part of me, and this is gonna throw you for a loop. There's a part of me that wants to say running backs. I like that group a lot now. I think I was going back and watching some Emmett Johnson from the last 4 games of last season.
Oh, fudge.
I
know. And he's better this year.
And he was pretty dang good at the last 4 games last year.
The first guy just almost never gets him.
I can't get Mekhi Nelson from the open practice out of my head.
He's so silly.
I can't do it.
He's so silly.
I can't get it out of my head.
He is so
that
silly.
Dude's one of the better runners I've seen at Nebraska in a little while. And then you know how I feel about Mosey.
You know who he reminds me of when I first saw him?
Who?
Except he just didn't love to practice. He reminds me of Aaron Green.
Oh, super talented guy.
I just remember watching Aaron Green, and I'm like, stop letting these guys cut you in line.
Yeah, nobody's cut Mekhi in line.
He would kind of drift to the back.
Yeah, and that's why one of the many reasons Amir beat him out.
And Rex.
Yeah,
right. Those two bell cows. And Amir just did what Rex did.
Yeah.
I think he's always at the front of the line. I'm like, you guys are the same age.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you letting him do that? Like, there's just no way.
Yeah.
You're going to have to tell me I'm not next.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. Like, I'm getting those reps in.
And that was a stretch where they had Hurd and Amir.
Yeah,
and
the
Aaron
group
Green.
was Green, Hurd, and Amir. And Amir, again, kind of like Catula, was the afterthought.
And I get it. Braylon went to Kentucky and did his thing. And clearly Green was one of the better
TCU.
Was one of the better players in the country.
Did his
at
thing?
TCU.
Yeah.
But Makai gives me Aaron Green running style vibes.
Not mentality,
but
though.
significantly different mentality.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue with you over their upside. It's just
We
that
don't
they
know.
get young in a hurry.
Yeah, we don't know.
I mean, you're still talking about a guy with one touchdown last
From
year
in
and
Emmett. Yeah.
Emmett.
I am looking at, yes, I go Emmett, who.
So you have to be realistic.
Yeah. I like that group a lot, though.
I mean, if one of those, it's gonna Makai's first carry will be his first carry.
Yeah, 100%. Mosey's first carry will be his
Mosey's first carry will be his first carry.
100%, yeah.
So I mean, I don't mind the upside talk, but I can't rock with you on
That's what
being in the group.
I don't have enough proof of concept there, but when I think about the groups that I like the most, they're up there.
Yeah.
I really like that group a lot. Now, I sort of feel similar. That's when you said linebackers, because I think you've got some of that similar with linebackers, and I like the top end production and I like some of the back end upside as well. Whether it's like, I know we saw Shavers last year, but like there's way more in there.
And I would talk to Coach Rhule about Watson Trent, and it's just his delivery, right? He's like, look, man, this look. I know he doesn't look like much, but what and so then it's just like, okay,
you gotta watch him.
And when he's willing to put his evaluation record on the line, okay, because we're really competitive in that.
Sure.
He and I, like,
yeah.
Well, you think you can see live, so can I. You know what I mean? So we'll do that.
Anybody who thinks they're a good talent evaluator is hyper competitive about it.
Yeah.
Like
so I almost put the insides.
But you went defensive backs, correct?
I'll go DBs. Yeah.
That gives you the most combination of proven plus upside.
That's a good point, Lance. That is how he is. That is exactly how he said that was Mills for me. He was the first in line during open practice. Yeah. Doesn't surprise me at all. High energy, competitive dude. Got a lot of Barney to him in terms of the day-to-day competitiveness.
Man, look at our guys here putting this Too Deep together live.
I know that's silly.
Who
types that fast?
It must be Rico. I'm proud of him.
Rico.
All right, so that's our Too Deep and our power rankings. Maybe we can, I don't know, can we tweet that out, Rico? See what we can do there. I think that's a good idea. Let's put it out on the internet. See how we do. It's already out in.
What's wrong with you, man?
It's already out in the free world.
Oh man,
People listen live, right? They already heard it. It doesn't matter if we post it.
I think
I ask a question like that.
Exactly. What makes you think I got to like you?
Who the hell said I got to like you?
I'd never made that assumption.
I got to go back to what my man BD said.
What's that?
All right. So he did answer the question. So shout out to him.
QBA says he thinks Latif is the number 2. Like I said, I think that's a big fat or.
I wouldn't argue. Listen,
I think
you might be right, Ace. I don't know.
OR between Gramstad and Latif.
Look how big I have to make this.
That's all right.
I guess I just don't see a scheme change at defensive line having as large of an impact against a Michigan, Iowa, or Minnesota as having a true DT sitting. But I see we're doing too much. Sitting between 310, 320, who doesn't move off. I just can't rock with that. But I do understand. It's a very safe take. I think people think like this conventionally, right? Like, who's my big guy in the middle? And like, I get it. I understand the terminology. I'm just telling you, there's plenty of ways to offset that. And if we think that, let's just say we're hand in hand. BD probably doesn't want to hold my hand, but let's say we're like lockstep, and I'm like, all right, BD, man, then the coaches have to know that too.
Yeah.
They have to be thinking, okay, if we want to stop the run and we agree with you that we're quote unquote undersized, then this is how we've got to play. So maybe he can't see a scheme change
making that big of a difference.
But I guarantee you they can understand a scheme change. It can be something as simple as not playing with a 1 and a 3 tech. You could play with 2 eyes. You could play with, like, there's so many different things. You could put them on the move, right? I mean, we've done it for years against big teams, bigger teams, 2-back set teams as an odd front without a big guy where we can stop the run.
Yeah.
It's plenty doable. And I guarantee you they're significantly smarter than us, and they have more options.
A lot of options.
Right? So, I get the whole – I mean, we watch Minnesota and we think power run game. That's not always what it is. Where they run the zone in their gap scheme, and they've got QB run game, and they lean and move. Like, it's not 2-back power blast ISO. Like, we just confuse.
I think anytime that people run in the box, we think of it as power run game, and that's instead of like outside.
Yeah,
I think
and I get
think
it.
of that
I
as
mean,
power run game.
I watched Michigan. Was that last year or 2 years ago? No,
2
it was,
years ago.
Because McCarthy had
Yeah.
the throw that I thought Giff should have picked.
It was 2 years ago.
Michigan ran duo, like 7 different formational ways, still out of 1-back. Like, you got to. That's not what that doesn't take a 310-pounder. It takes discipline.
Yeah.
It takes discipline.
QBA says, talking about Latif, he goes, I'm just saying, if push comes to shove, you always go with the more talented player. Holgerson doesn't equal conservative. So I disagree. Because
I told you that's generally what people think, though, with young versus old.
And so, that's why I brought up the difference between in-game sub versus long-term sub, right? Because those are two very different things in my mind. But I also think, as a coach, a lot of times it's not who's the more talented. In fact, I would say almost always it's who do you trust the most, right? There's a lot of talented guys that don't make it on the field as much as we think they should because coaches don't trust them. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And so at this point, I would bet they trust Jalen Gramstad more. That's the bet I would make. Now, the other thing.
I just told a kid yesterday, he's like, Coach, man, what do I got to do? We're walking off the field talking, and I'm like, player blank. I'm like, you're just as apt to make a 4-yard loss as to give up a 6-point score. Like, at some point, we got to meet in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The math doesn't math on that, right?
It's but so I'm definitely rocking with what you say. Lance, position group rankings.
The other thing, real quick on Dana.
Yeah.
What did he say? Hey, just make the routine play. That's not a talent thing. That's a trust thing.
That. And he's the one coach that's talked the most about age and experience too.
Like, that's a trust thing, not a talent thing.
Totally.
So, all right, let's get to Lance's groups here.
He went O-line 1, QB 2, inside 3, wide. How do we put wide receiver ahead of DB?
I don't know.
Oh, and he said,
I like the group. I do. I like the wide receiver group.
So so I'm reading this again the second time through now that Shane bolded it.
He said
so inside is in receivers. D tackles or inside wide receivers? Inside wide. Well, who's your second inside wide receiver outside of? Everybody likes Barney, Lance. That can't be a group.
Is it Bonner?
Can't be a group though.
I mean, he's getting real specific, but maybe he's saying Bonner and Barney.
So I was questioning this one too. How could you have QB at 2? Because you don't even know who the second QB is,
unless he just trusts.
Well, that was my argument, right? Is like, hey, Dylan, I trust that much, and then I'll take my chances with whatever happens after that.
Man, listen, this is my boy. Like you, I can't let you off the hook with inside wide receivers. I'm surprised he ain't called me already. Boy, what are you questioning me for, DB? No, I'm just saying, man. What do you mean inside wide receivers?
Yeah, I think that's a fair question to see. Get a little clarification.
That's a cheat code, man. I'd take Barney too, wherever he is. Yeah, I like that group.
Barney's my number 2. Whatever it is, like, I mean, if we want to get real specific, if we're talking about individual guys, like, I'll take just Javen Wright? Like, okay, like what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Can I take just Riola? Can I just take Dylan?
Yeah.
Like, let's go. Let's ride with it. Can I take just Riley Van Poppel? Can I do that?
Shoot. I'm all over it.
He says Bonner. He's talking about Barney and Bonner.
Okay.
Listen, those are two of my favorite guys.
That is awful specific, LBZ.
I've been trying to hype up that Bonner train for a couple years now.
Yeah. Why'd you fall in love again?
So this is stupid.
It was more than that. Hello.
No, it was. So when I was watching Satterfield's tape from South Carolina, he had Jaheim Bell, who he used in a lot of
we
really
had this conversation.
interesting ways, and I thought Bonner could replicate that. I still like every time he touches the ball, I feel like something good happens, right? So it's past that at this point because obviously Satterfield's not running the offense anymore, and so you got different things going on. But I think I've seen enough flashes from Bonner that I really like him.
Okay. Now this is a little bit of a reach, but I'll vibe because
Okay.
at some point they could go there.
Okay.
Insides, Barney, Bonner, Carter, HH.
So I've made the argument. I think Carter Nelson and Janarin Bonner are going to play more of the same position than we realize. I know one's listed as wide receiver, one's listed as tight end. I don't know how much inline tight end we're getting from Carter Nelson this year. I don't know. I think
that sounds like a guy that's had too many lunches with Osborne. I don't know about that, Lance. Shoot. I vibe with that a little bit.
Let's take a quick break here. Coming back, we're going to talk.
I at some point, I wanna get back to BD's point because.
Oh, about the inside run.
So
Or
my goal is my homework will be for tape.
Do we want to find some examples?
Yeah, that's what I kind of want to do because he's not. I get it. He can be a little negative, but he's not.
It's not crazy.
He's not crazy.
I understand the concern.
He's not. He's not. He's definitely not crazy.
And he's certainly not alone.
No, that's the thing.
He's not alone.
Like I've heard this a ton. So
every time I've talked about how much I like the D line, be like, oh, can they stop the run though? Like that. So he's certainly not alone.
Yeah. BD, do you want to see it out of what? Do you want to see examples out of a 3 front or a 4 front?
I think you expect him to play 3 front more.
I don't know.
Okay, fair.
I don't know if they've shown the ability
to do either.
To do both.
So if it's your
remember how much 4 they played against
Illinois,
Rutgers.
Oh, Rutgers, that's right. He wanted to play more against Illinois and was kind of mad they didn't. That's my perception. I'm reading into his comments. I don't want to allegedly. So
offensive coordinators are smart too and adjust. Well, yeah, but that's just football, right? Like that happens every game.
That doesn't mean it's a weakness for your team just because they adjust.
Yeah,
to
they
other
go
things.
back and forth every game.
If it's you and you've got the options or similar, as a defensive coordinator, if you've got the options that Nebraska does or the high school equivalent of the options Nebraska does, and you're afraid that a team is going to try and inside power run you a lot, are you going 3 front, 4 front?
We're going to do both.
Okay. You're going to give them different looks to make it a little bit more.
Yeah, we're going to
difficult
do both. Because, I mean, he's right in the regard like, oh, hey, they're in an under front or, hey, they're in an over front.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're going to get a strong side shade or a weak side 1. So we'll do, like, no bleep, right? So the goal is different looks to get there.
Gotcha.
So you have to do both. I'm not just going to get in an over. I'm not just going to get in an under. I'm going to try to teach multiple fronts. Now, not everybody can pull it off, but at that level with what they do, they can.
They should be able to.
Yeah. And sometimes you show something different than what you actually play, and that's where the real cat and mouse begins. You don't just line up in it and sit in it and say, here's
what we're doing.
Yeah. Now, even Michigan with their window dressing, go back and watch that game in Lincoln 2 years ago. The multiple ways that they got to like their split zone and duo was really, really creative. Sometimes they'd insert with a tight end. Remember that was Colston Loveland's coming out party, and there's multiple ways that they can get there. Same as defense can do it too. I'm just not married to this whole size thing.
Yeah, I would agree. I also don't think they're that small. Like I've looked up some other rosters.
That's number one.
Like they're not that small.
That's number one. That is number one.
Like you've got half a dozen guys between 280 and 295. Like that's not that small.
Yeah. And I watched the team.
I get you don't have a 320.
I watched the team really, 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 really close.
Yeah.
Really close. That didn't play with a 300-pounder.
Oh,
And they were really good against the run.
I think it's less common than we assume that you have a 300, 320-pound inside defensive tackle, nose guard, whatever you want to call them. I think it's less common than we think.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Let's take a quick break here. We're going to get to Mike Gross coming up next as we continue through Nebraska's schedule. We've got Penn State today, and Mike Gross is our guy for that. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We'll be right back. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
The tackling piece obviously is something that I think is just never ending from now until the time you're done playing ball. Because obviously I think we had 3 or 4 live periods throughout the year, like scrimmages type things, and then the rest of it's stud. And then even in your tag off stuff, which we did a little bit today, you're just constantly preaching, chasing the near hip, taking the extra step, taking the air out of it, running through, where are your eyes. So I think that's something that really throughout the whole year, but when you look at using the analogy of preseason football, in the NFL, and then you look at the first 3 or 4 games of each year, the stuff that stands out is the tackling and the takeaways, right? The tackling and the lack of ball security because, quarterbacks haven't been hit, really ball carriers haven't been hit. So the team that's tackling better from a standpoint of the individual tackles plus population to the ball, I think is a huge thing.
Technique, I got better with my technique, a lot better with it. Still got to work on a few things, but I feel like I made major jumps in that.
Is there any kind of pass rushing move that Coach Braden's been working with you on?
He's been giving us a lot of pass rush moves at a different position. Like, and you got long arm, and then tackle, you got like double swipe, and then nose, club rip. But what I've been working on is double swipe.
Who are some other guys at your position that you've seen maybe make some progress even just in training camp?
Like we've all made major jumps since the beginning to the end. Big jumps. Cam has made a big jump. His get off has continued to improve. Riley, he's more agile. Judy, his pass rush is even better now. And Will, he's gotten better with his steps.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
It definitely feels like I'm just back at home now, like back where I'm supposed to be, so it feels really comfortable playing.
What was the biggest adjustment in getting to where you are at this position?
Honestly, like I played it my freshman year, so it was really just getting back into the groove of things, getting back to the physicality, being back closer to the ball, switching fronts, movement, stuff like that, kind of just getting back into that mode, but it didn't take long.
Is there a mindset or a certain technique that's different that you kind of got to switch over to for that?
Maybe just your mindset. Your mindset's just more physical because you're going head on head against somebody every play. When I was playing in the back end, there were some plays where you don't take off, but like there's some plays where you're not physically involved. So I'd say from that standpoint, just getting my body back in that condition.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
He knows how we operate, so there's a ton of value in that. Less questions he has to ask. But then the other thing is he knows our personnel better. Like, he knows our team better. He knows what our strengths are. He knows what our weaknesses are. We've gotten to a point now in camp, we got a pretty good idea of what our identity is going to be. So I just think he knows our team better. He knows what Liam's strengths are and how do we play to Liam's strengths. And Dinkins, and I can go on Singleton. And so I think that's probably the biggest difference is how do we maximize our personnel and how do we hide some of our deficiencies while we're still working on them.
Welcome back. Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Mike Gross. He covers Penn State football on his Substack, Gross Rational Product. Mike, how are you this morning?
I'm great. How you guys doing?
Good. That's a great name for the Substack too, man. I love how you just evolved. It's like that's pretty good stuff.
The light bulb went off over the head one day.
I know you're gonna like you probably do a lot of these, and you're gonna. But if you remember, you're gonna say, "Gosh, Damon, didn't you ask me this last year?" Mike, I got to start. I feel like your quarterback is still the but guy. Let's talk about national title runs and winning the conference and Big Ten championships. How does the question start at quarterback on whether you can pull this off or not, given his track record and statistically with wins? Like, it still seems to be a thing with Drew.
That's fair. I think that's entirely fair. He's 23-5 as a starter. The 5 losses were to Ohio State twice, to the Michigan national championship team, and to Oregon in the Big Ten championship game, and Notre Dame last year in the playoff. In those 5 games, his performance was nowhere near and uncharacteristic of him. Not only off, but uncharacteristic of Drew Aller. So I think it's entirely fair, and I think for Penn State to get where it wants to go, that's obviously going to have to change. There are a few things in place that might help it to change. I think the second year under Andy Kotelnicki is one. I think the 3 sort of free agent wide receivers that they've brought in is another. And the best thing about this Penn State team, the depth and strength of their offensive line.
So, Mike, I know that the but comes with Drew Aller, but who gets more of the but in the people you talk to, Drew Aller or James Franklin with the he still can't win the big one in what is now, DB and I talked about this a ton over the last year, a guy that's been really good for going into his 12th year at Penn State.
Yep. Yeah, I think there are probably more questions about Franklin, honestly. You hear Paul Feinbaum on ESPN once a week or so saying
can't win the big one, right?
They've lost these games because not only can't win the big one, they've lost these games because Franklin choked. I don't know how that works. I'd like to hear somebody explain the mechanics of that to me. I don't know how that works. Here's the thing about Franklin. When he took the job, this was probably one of the worst 10 jobs in the Power 5. Now it's one of the best 10. So you can't deny what he's done in terms of building a program and building an overall operation and building a staff. I mean, they have as good a staff as anybody right now. I just think I always smell bull when I hear can't win the big one or can't, that kind of stuff. But obviously people are going to say it until they do it, until they beat Ohio State. And people are going to keep saying that. This is their best shot. And next year they're going to really come back to earth, at least on paper. So this is kind of James Franklin pushing all his chips to the middle of the table.
And 23, Mike, in 23 or 24, did you think Penn State was better than Ohio State?
In 23 and 24?
Yeah, because I didn't. So how is that joking?
I love
That's
that.
exactly right.
Yeah.
No, I'm dead serious. I'm not even placating to the guests. I'm thinking.
Well, we hear the same thing when people are like,
Coach Ohio State were the better team.
Yeah, you're not supposed to win that
correct.
game.
Yeah. They have Franklin, since he got it going at Penn State, he has won almost all the games he should have won.
Yeah. And
some of the games, 4 or 5 years ago, they went to Wisconsin when Wisconsin was ranked for the season opener at Wisconsin. Wisconsin was ranked 10th maybe, and Penn State won that game. And it's almost like because they won it, it doesn't count on this big game ledger.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? For Franklin, it's kind of a strange thing. I would argue that when they had Barkley in 17 and 18, they really could have. That was as close as they've been. They really could have and arguably should have beat Ohio State one or both of those years. And of course, in 16, they had the kind of miraculous block punt return for a touchdown thing and did beat them and ended up winning the Big Ten, but not getting to the playoff.
So, Mike, you said something there that I need to dig into a little bit there, because I think if you say 12 years ago when James Franklin took this job, Penn State's one of the bottom 10 jobs in the power conferences, I think that probably raises the antenna of some people, because it just doesn't sound right. So when you say that, what was the situation then that makes you believe that to be true, and how has he gone about and changed it? Because it's not just the wins, right? There's obviously a lot of things that go on into being a good or a bad job.
Well, obviously, when he was hired, they still had NCAA sanctions. And
I think people forget that.
Yeah, the Sandusky fallout was still there, and at one point in his first year, they had 8 offensive linemen on their roster. 8 on their roster. You can't even practice, really. And now they have 30 offensive linemen, 23 of them on scholarship. He's built it in terms of recruiting. He's built it in terms of hiring staff. He's built it in terms of facilities. And one of the things that he has talked about so much in the last couple of years is unprecedented level of alignment from the president of the university on down to the athletic director, the board of trustees, all that. They're all kind of all in on doing the kind of spending and doing the kind of commitment that you have to compete at the level that they want to compete at.
So, Mike, let me ask you something. Because in order to get this done, we're talking about spending and guys coming in. Talk about a guy in particular, with a guy like Pena to go along with Aller.
Yeah.
How much do you think is conference transferable when you talk about productivity, or is that something you think you're taking the wait and see approach on? Because the narrative is it's just going to be kind of plug and play from a productive guy. Do you see it going that way?
Well, that's a really good point. And practice was open last night, so we did talk to Franklin, and he mentioned one of the things he said is he thinks that Pena in particular, with an off season in the weight program and everything, he's now quicker and stronger than he was when he got there, and more explosive. And he said Pena in particular is better than he thought he was.
Huh?
And another interesting thing I thought he said was these three wide receivers that they got in the portal, and I think all three of them are probably going to start. He said, we really got to come out of the first couple of games, which their first couple of games are cannon fodder. I mean, they don't play anybody. He said, we really got to come out of these first few games knowing what we have in those three guys and knowing how we can use them. That's going to be a priority in those first couple games. So I think there probably are, not sure a little bit what they have in those three guys. I think there are three different kinds of receivers. One's a slot guy, one's a big guy who might be a red zone target, and another one is a smaller, quicker, big play guy. So it's sort of a good assortment of. That's how it looks anyway. But I think there, to some extent, even the coaches are. I want to see what we've got with these wide receivers.
Mike, let me ask you something offensively for Penn State, because I think that's where they probably get the most pushback outside of the terrific tandem. I do think it'd be really good up front along that offensive line. I want to talk OC quarterback psyche, right? Kotelnicki's a guy that's known for his creativity, can improvise, really creative. But when I look at Drew, he seems a little more rhythmic, a little more staticky, kind of more pro style.
Pro style. He's definitely a classical pro style guy. Yeah.
Does that fit, do you think? Or who makes the biggest adjustment? I would guess Kotelnicki, right?
Yeah, Kotelnicki. I don't think that's a huge problem, but I do think if you could inject both James and Kotelnicki, I think if you injected them with True Serum, they'd say we would rather have a dual threat guy.
Yeah, I agree. That's good.
They recruited the hell out of Aller. I mean, he was a big time recruit, and they were on him early, and so they really wanted him. That's not the issue. And I think Aller has gotten a little bit more athletic. He has proven to be a reasonably effective runner to extend the play and to, if nothing's there, take it up the middle and convert, and even lower his shoulders sometimes and knock people over. I mean, he is 6'5", 235-ish. So that's not. I mean, I think that's. I don't think he's immobile by any means. But is this a perfect fit of philosophy of the coaches and quarterback? Probably not. Yeah.
Mike, I keep asking myself this question about Penn State. In order to meet expectations, does this team have to win a national title? I guess that's the question in the simplest form.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is the first time.
That's a tough place to start. I mean, really, right? It's a tough place to start.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. But I do think there is, again, maybe differently than an Ohio State or a Georgia or an Alabama, this is the 1 year that they've been pointing toward in terms of this 2022 recruiting class. The fact that so many guys from that class who could have turned pro did not. Some of them did, but many of them did not. Aller, Singleton, Zane Durant, Dani Dennis-Sutton, et cetera, and also the fact that they really went hard specifically into the transfer portal to address specific needs. I mean, this is really the year. And I mean, if they get to the national championship game and lose 38-35, I mean, people are not going to be calling for Franklin's head or anything. I mean that, let's not go crazy here, but I do think that this is as they are as all in as it is possible to be on this season.
Well, the good news is if something goes wrong in that national championship game, you can just pull an Auburn and claim the title anyway. So I think you might be okay there.
Yeah, there you go. I'm sure that'll be a relief to the fan base. Yeah. I'll pass that along.
I'd like it to go the other way and go back to 1982 with Penn State and Nebraska. We might be having a different conversation. That's just me, though, Mike.
Yeah.
Right?
How about 94 Penn State Nebraska?
Yeah, listen. So that one, not only was I part of that. My first year in Carolina, my quarterback was Kerry Collins, and I can't tell you how many conversations that we had about that 94 season. And he was not a very nice person to talk to, and I was an undrafted rookie free agent, so I pretty much took it. Not a huge.
That was nice.
not a huge Kerry Collins guy when it came to that conversation. Like, let me ask you something. You talked about the non-con and the schedule, and it's an experienced team, so it may be a non-starter. But is there any concern about the degree of difficulty or how you kind of ramp into this thing as you look at how the schedule breaks down?
Well, it's logical to think maybe yes. I mean it's Nevada, and then it's Florida International, and then it's Villanova, and then it's a week off.
Yeah.
And then Oregon. Now they have Oregon here at night with the whiteout thing going on. I mean, they're certainly going to be favored in that game unless something crazy happens between now and then. But yeah, it would be a little bit of a concern. But I mean, they are Penn State from the AD on down, including James, they seem pretty committed to. We just want cannon fodder for our non-conference schedule. We have 9 conference games, and those are the ones we're just, I don't know. They play Syracuse in 27 and 28. But other than that, it's going to be a lot of this kind of thing in the non-conference.
Mike, I'd be remiss if I didn't get out of here without asking you a question about Jim Knowles as your defensive coordinator now.
Right.
How big of a difference are we thinking he makes? Obviously, coming off the great season at Ohio State, you've got one of the most respected defensive coordinators in the game now in Happy Valley. Like, it seems like that's sort of not just in this conversation, but nationally flown under the radar a little bit when we're talking about the expectations for Penn State.
Well, I'm going to disagree a little bit. I think there are a lot of. I think one of the reasons why they're getting so much hype, even though they have a couple of holes on paper on defense, is because I think there's a perception that they got this Jim Knowles guy, he'll figure it out. I think that's what people think, and it will be interesting to see how he. I'll give you an example. They have a couple of guys, Zane Durant at tackle and Dani Dennis-Sutton at end on defense, who teams are going to have to game plan for. I mean, they're going to have to locate them. They're going to double them, whatever they do. Now, Knowles, how's he going to react to that? Is he going to have a stunt on one side to free up Dennis Sutton on the other side on 3rd and 7? That kind of stuff. I think that will be really interesting. They have enough athletes on defense that they should be fine, I think. And Knowles he's really like this Yoda type figure. He's the quietest football coach I have ever been around.
Yeah.
And watching him at practice, he looks like a guy like at an art museum. He's just sort of wandering around and checking his notes and stuff. He's really an unusual football coach in terms of his demeanor, which is I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing. It's just interesting. And I am really interested in seeing what he does, because they are going to be different schematically on defense. No
that's a heck of an observation too, and I bet it's not understated, because if you ask Ohio State fans, one of the things that bugged them the most about Knowles was the contrasting styles between guys like he and again, another guy you're familiar with up in that part of the country is Larry Johnson Sr. And the meshing of the personalities, or the non-meshing of the personalities. So I wouldn't understate that at all, Mike, because I think knowing what you get with Jim Knowles in terms of his personality is absolutely part of the deal.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I would say I don't think there's anybody on their staff who is like Larry Johnson.
You would know.
In relation to Knowles, and of course Larry Johnson was here. I mean, I've spoken to Larry Johnson dozens of times, but so there's not going to be anybody. I mean, I think they're all like, hey, Knowles is the genius, and let's just do whatever let's just go his way, and I don't think there's going to be what we heard, and I'm sure you guys heard this too, is that there was a little bit of button heads between Knowles and Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a personality on their defensive staff that's going to be an analog to that.
That is Mike Gross. You can follow him and Penn State football on his Substack, The Gross Rational Product. Mike, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate it, fellas. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Good stuff there from our guy, Mike. That's the show for today. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We will be back tomorrow here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.